Hotep.
What's up?
Evening.
Good night.
It's been one of those, yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah, depending on where you are in the world.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shalom. Salam alaikum.
Hotep.
Sassarikal.
Namaste.
Yeah. What else?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Hola.
Hola. Ciao. That means both.
In the
I
Philippines, they just say, I don't know a word for hello in the Filipino.
No.
We say just kumusta.
¿Cómo está? Okay.
It means how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Muy bien, gracias.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
All right, then. Anyway, welcome to the Innervibe show on
Let's get
Essence
back
Radio.
into the bastardized language, yeah?
Yes, into the bastardized language. Welcome to the Innervibe show on Essence Radio. With us tonight is myself, Roslyn Blue, and
Skidan or
Haru.
Brother Haru or
Brother Haru.
Anna likes to call me.
Yeah, I think Brother Haru, because like it rhymes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Roslyn Blue
Anyway.
and Brother Haru
Yeah.
on the Innervibe show on
Okay.
Essence Radio.
You joker. Anyway, greetings everybody. We're in for a show tonight. We've got with us, well, not with us in the studio here, but
Stateside.
stateside,
Again.
Atlantic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Imhotep. He'll be coming in the next few minutes.
Uh-huh.
We've got our excuse me. We've got our mugs. You know, it's cold, and we've got a tea out.
Freezing.
It's freezing out here.
Well, I'm drinking chicory and rice.
Some of us are catching colds, and so excuse us if we start splurting and all sorts other than white.
Sneezing.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, we have a special guest this evening across Atlantic. We'll be calling in on Skype very shortly. His name is Ra Imhotep L. He's an astrologer, healer, occult researcher, and spiritual advisor. He studies crystals, raw foods, and advanced techniques of meditation. Indigenous American. You can ask him questions about that if you are none the wiser of what that is. He's also an entrepreneur, musician, speaker, and writer. So he's a very creative and talented man,
Yeah,
isn't he? Yes,
brilliant. I'm
indeed.
looking forward to talking to him.
Mm-hmm. He comes from a long line of community activists, politicians, professionals. He started working in the community at the age of 16 years old and has helped various political campaigns on a grassroots level. I wonder if that's the Republican or the Democrats. Well, we'll find out anyway, won't we? He's travelled across the US campaigning, promoting and propagating various movements. Ra Imhotep has been participating in talk show radio since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's been around for a few years now, isn't he? He's quite young
Yes.
also still, so yeah.
So we've got, well, on the Innervibe show, we have the pleasure of talking to him today.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
He did a talk show in 2010 predicting the newly discovered astrological sign of Ophiuchus. Is that how you spell it? Ophiuchus, something like that.
Oh, we can ask
The
him.
13 star sign which they found,
Okay.
which was made public by the large media networks in America like CNN and Time Magazine a couple of months later after Ra Imhotep predicted it. So, yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's been blogging since 2007. His most recent circulated blog was written on the death of Whitney Houston in February of this year. All his works can be found on his website, www.13, that's the number 13, signsastrology.com. That's www.13signsastrology.com. And you can follow him on Twitter, Master Ra Imhotep. That's at Master Ra Imhotep. Or subscribe to his YouTube channel, 13 Signs Astrology. So we'll be having him with us, join us very shortly. So, Roslyn Blue, what do you know about astrology and the cosmos and galactic alignments and stuff? Because I think we're going to be touching on the galactic alignment. There's one due tomorrow, and
Okay, right.
apparently so, yeah. And the galactic alignment, the big one, so to speak, on 21st of December 2012, which is in 19 days time.
Okay. I'm a Pisces.
Oh yeah, I already knew that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you're acting like you don't know that. And I know that you're an Aries.
Yeah, I know.
Wait. You're a black Jamaican Aries.
Okay, what does that mean?
And I remember, you know when we've had like.
Okay.
You know when.
Well, Jamaican because I'm
No.
passionate and Aries the fire.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, but look, it's because you know when we've had like disagreements, yeah, not me and you, but when there's disagreements that's happened in the House of Revolution, I just remember one time you going, "I'm a black Jamaican."
Okay. Right, you know what I mean? Okay.
Well, I broadcast everything.
Is that all our dirty laundry going to come out on there? You're a joker. Anyway, there's apparently a galactic alignment tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
But of course, most people know about, or don't probably know about, but people in the movements know that there's going to be a major galactic alignment on the 21st of December of this year, which was predicted by the Olmecs, the Mayans, Egyptians and other ancient civilizations.
They had some deep knowledge.
Yeah, a lot more knowledge than us.
We're dumb. We're dumb as shit.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Anyway.
What I mean?
All right, shall we go into the song?
I'm not dumb.
Let's go into the song so me and you can discuss this off air. Right then, yeah, brother Haru, get that song on, yeah.
You hear that, everyone? It's this roll, isn't it? We were talking about
we're gonna
the galactic alignment, which is one I think is due tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Well, that's what
Imhotep will expand on that. Also the. What was it now? There was another one planned.
Yeah.
For December the 21st.
Yes.
Of 2012.
Which was predicted by the
Mayans. Olmecs. Ancient. Mostly all ancient civilizations predicted this very event, which is due to come on the 21st of December.
Which is in like
3 weeks.
Yeah, it's like 19 days, is it?
Not doom and gloom though. It's not about doom and gloom.
No, of course not.
None of that.
So should we go into this song now?
Yeah, we'll go into the song and then we'll bring Imhotep in.
Brilliant.
And we apologise yet again for all the technical difficulties.
Yes, we apologise first of all for being late. Second of all, for
It's because of the technical difficulties though, wasn't it?
Second of all, for being late, because we were talking for about good 15 minutes before we realised that the broadcast button was not pressed.
We didn't realise.
And then also, for the internet just switching off, we do apologise.
It's off air again.
It isn't.
It's off air here. According to here,
it is. But it's still broadcasting.
Okay, we on? Okay. It keeps. I'm not sure, guys, but it keeps. We're gonna go for a little break anyway, and some music break. So I mean, we'll be coming back after the music, so don't go away. We're gonna bring Imhotep in.
Yeah, brilliant.
Just gonna try and sort this. What's going on?
All right, Hotep people.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah. Let us in. Let us in. Yo, we came through the door spitting the roar. A lot of heads are like, who's this? They got a style I never heard before. I know because it's specially crafted to outlast on the whackness. They feeding to the masses heavy. The past has already with a timeless approach. These rhymes that we wrote are labeled boundless. Don't ask how many times we stepped in the jam and got the people live in the place. Come on, countless. Stop trying to figure what the sound is. You wonder why the flows be ill. We've been around, kids. The soulful, angelic, the mic, we dismantle it. Rock and science, I bet you can't spell it.
My click don't. Foreverness. A clever kiss out the rhetoric and fisticuffs. Street movement with a speech to it. This is us. And they wanna wonder who. We the reason every line that you blare from lead to come from number twos. She sun suit with a 1-2 like buckhead chickens. Clicking infinite like duck heads. It's we shine. Rewind, see, identify the eye, unlimited dose, special for the no-dose, delivering flows, so what you need more? Bloody, we spread it above us, beat governors, pro with twos, you can't up with us, beat cover us, keep covering up, blast off, what's up, signs, we rock, more struggle, top maximum level, bubbles, we low eye, strive, incredible, mind, parables, reverse the devil, crimes, the 7 Jews, follow the leader, ID the weed, treater, twist the green beam, or reaper, either the 9mm, or rhymes to each. Yo, and through all the worst and the better-ish, a toast to foreverness.
Foreverness.
Right?
The experience, the sound, the culture, the world. Foreverness. Maximum levels to exceed full measurement. Foreverness.
ESC, I and me, cleverness. Let us flip, cheddar split, get a dick. Shit, no, get a pick that develop to a glimpse into this, and to think, and to blink and be your downfall. Your faggot average right down to the downfall. The sound log, the pound jaw, and what ass bounce for. Forever, and what ass counts for.
Like
Never get caught pulling out yours.
a celebration of thought. A day in time where revelations are brought into the forefront. Can't let these companies destroy our music, but major labels keep giving this whackness even more pump. Temperatures rising, economies falling. Seems like ever since the tower's been gone, we patriotic now. Foreverness, like Triple C's darkness, popping through the majors, heartless and thoughtless, knowledge and style. The soothing of the soul like therapy. Pass to the minds of the mass with telepathy. The vocal recipe touching the style with ease. You're dealing with higher degrees, that's what y'all want, right?
I let my future speak, as I prepare for resurrection through a group of seeds. King like the Mahdi of the Sudanese. Pop shit, the Tula squeeze, hot shit. The clock ticks, tick, tick. Knock you out the box like skelly tops. The projects are very hot in every spot. We brand names like Burberry campaign. Yes sir, you blurred ain't you? And blind to this game, dude. Rap ain't the same. Truth forever reign supreme. Put the flame to it. You claiming Buddhist when I'm making music. Just staying with the game and do it. No pain and you ain't doing. Foreverness, the bang music.
Through all the worst and the better-ish, a toast to foreverness.
Foreverness. The experience, the sound, the culture, the world.
Foreverness. Maximum levels we exceed full measurement. Measurements. Foreverness.
Yes, people, welcome back to the Innervibe show on Essence Radio. So before the break, we were talking. We had all these silly technical difficulties, but never mind, we still pulled through. And joining us now will be Ra Imhotep, the YouTube channel 13 Signs Astrology. Is that right? And yeah, let's call him in.
Peace, brother.
Yes, greetings, family. Greetings.
Greetings.
Yeah, man.
Greetings.
Big up from the UK. You know, the UK family saying
okay.
hello to the American family out there.
Yeah, no doubt.
They got from the East Coast of America right now. So
Nice. What's the weather like out there?
oh, great. I mean, the weather is great. It's like pretty much like a summer day. We have like an Indian summer
Oh, what? Okay.
Okay.
right now. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, what sort of temperatures are you hitting out over there?
The temperature right now I think is about. I'm not really sure honestly, but it got to be at least in the 60s, which is pretty good this time of year.
Wow.
So what's that in Celsius?
Yeah.
Celsius, I'm not sure. We tried to work it out in Celsius, but we just couldn't.
Right.
We're not great mathematicians.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's right. You guys do it in Celsius.
Yeah.
Man, I used to know the formula, but I can't think of it right offhand.
Wow. Yeah, fantastic. Hey, thank you for joining us this evening. It's such a pleasure to have you with us.
Great to be in the house, definitely.
Good. Rosalind Blue, as you know, and myself, Skidan, or Brother Haru, aka Norman, whichever one you want to call me, I'm cool with, you know.
But I honestly think Brother Haru because it rhymes with Rosalind Blue.
Brother Haru and Rosalind Blue. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So if you'd like to tell us, the viewers and the audience, a bit about yourself and your background. I know I did a bit of a bio about yourself, but I think it's better when it comes from the person himself.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've been a student of astrology like I guess you could say as like a definite as a practitioner for the past 6 or 7 years, you know, like really hardcore or whatever. So like, I attribute a lot of my research, studying, and knowledge that I picked up, you know, over the past few years. Pretty much, I attribute it from me just being hungry and thirsty about learning more about astrology. Because for me, getting into astrology, I mean, it led me into like religion. I mean, it led me into so many other different topics. For me, just like learning and decoding this whole astrological thing. So mostly my background, like mostly like an astrologer. I studied a lot of the New Age information. No, I also did a lot of music, like before I got into the metaphysics or whatever. Like I was into music or whatever. Like that was my first passion or whatever. But it kind of more led into more.
So
that's my background. So,
okay, so you music. What sort of music? What were you doing?
I was doing hip hop.
Okay.
That's like hardcore hip hop at the time.
Okay.
I still do music now though, but it's hip-hop. Way more positive. It's positive. Well, you could say positive experimental hip hop.
Okay.
Interesting.
Were you an MC or producer or what?
Yeah, I was an MC.
Yeah. We'd like to hear some of your stuff.
Come on.
You want to spit some bars tonight?
Come on.
I don't think I'm going to spit no bars tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem. I'd like to hear some of your music though. Still, that'd be good. No doubt. Because I mean, that's hip hop's my number one love at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? What? I mean, you know.
I'm working on some music right now. I haven't really, you know, I guess it's my first time talking about it publicly, but I'm working on some music right now, some new music. So
okay.
And I have music out there. I'm definitely sure.
Wow. That's a good look.
I did music, and man, I was really the type of person. Like I went to college, but to me, it was like my whole bottom line was like, okay, so how much money am I going to like make? Like, how much money am I going to need to make in society? And it just seemed like I could make that amount of money without really going to college. So I guess you could say like I went to college for a few years and dropped out. Like most of my background came from like spiritual arts and sciences. A whole lot of just learning, like, you know, from different mentors and teachers. You know, like I was a part of a lot of different, I guess you could say, schools of thought, stuff like that. But most of it was, you know, like self-research and just a whole lot of, you know, like just common sense, you know, like just tapping into like the knowledge of myself or whatever, and just pretty much like that's where I got where I'm at today or whatever. So pretty much I'm just a researcher, you know, and we're deep into astrology or whatever. So that's what I do for the most part.
You sound like us. You're definitely part of the family.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So do you guys study like a whole lot of astrology?
Not astrology, no. That's not really.
I sort of delve into everything.
Only the bits. I mean, I'm sure Imhotep is well versed in this.
Yeah.
We can't say that we've really studied it really.
No.
All we know is that I'm an Aries and Rosalind's a Pisces. That's the fish side.
Yeah, you pretty much know the basics.
Yeah, the basics. Yeah. We know of. I mean, after like listening to guys like yourself on YouTube, when like the planets are retrograded and so forth. I saw your video on the Mercury and Jupiter retrograde, and I thought that was very interesting. Yeah. Because earlier on in the year there was a Mars retrograde. Yeah. And now that's when I really started get into that side of astrology. Was early part of the year because I found that certain things were happening within myself because of that retrograde, but I didn't know that the retrograde was on until I looked more deeply into it.
Yeah, the Mars retrograde was pretty deep. That was, I think, in March. I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it affected a lot of males. You know, because Mars rules the masculine energy. It affected women too. It affected, you know, that's an energetic planet. So when the planets go retrograde, it's a reversal of the energies that they represent. So like Mars being a planet of like hardcore energy, I mean, it causes a lot of like, I guess you can say, internal growth for a lot of males. Like when it comes to the shift or whatever, like a lot of men, I guess you could say, got more in tune with that feminine side of themselves or whatever. Because like usually when the planets go retrograde, it makes you have like an internal look at yourself or whatever. Like it's kind of like you're looking at yourself from an internal level versus, like, say for instance, like when Mars is direct, most of your energy might be going out and establishing things, you know, like in the world. But when the planet goes retrograde, most of your energy may be focused on like learning lessons for yourself, a lot of self. I guess you could say a lot of self-study and research and stuff. So That's pretty much like how it works when the planets go retrograde. But I mean, each one has a different effect. But the Mercury retrograde is the most one that everybody feels. I mean, like for like a lot of reasons. But and we just came out of the Mercury retrograde actually. So I think it was like last week we just came out of Mercury retrograde. But yeah, we've been in Mercury retrograde the past few weeks too. So
okay, so what you're saying? Are we just coming out of the Mercury retrograde now?
yeah, we just came out of Mercury retrograde at about.
Okay.
It went direct on I think it was 26th.
Okay.
Of November. So yeah, we've been out for the past few days.
Okay.
But wasn't Jupiter and Mercury in retrograde at a similar time?
Yeah, Jupiter is still retrograde actually right now. Jupiter retrograde it lasts for a pretty long time because Jupiter is a really big planet, so that's a really strong retrograde. It lasts for like I think it lasts for about like 3 months at least. So it's been retrograde October before Jupiter. Yeah, I think you probably seen my video on that.
Yeah. So now that because is Jupiter the only planet at the moment which is in retrograde?
At the moment, Jupiter and Neptune, I know those retrograding in Chiron. Now those are some further out planets, so we don't really feel those energies as much.
Okay.
Like when you talk about Neptune, it's so far out. I mean, it's felt, but it's felt more on a psychic level.
Okay.
The Chiron is really far out too, so it's felt more like we have different bodies. Like we got psychic bodies, different bodies or whatever. So our psychic body will feel like a Neptune retrograde. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like Mercury retrograde, like we're all gonna feel that because it's so close to the sun. So like the planets that are closer to us, we feel those retrogrades. So, and the Jupiter retrograde itself as well. So right now, the main retrograde that's going on is the Jupiter one. And the way that's affecting people right now is like I was talking about the video. A lot of people are having. Some people feel like they're having money problems and stuff like that. And it's not really like money problems. Just a lot of people have to look at, I guess, like how they view money. You know what I'm saying? How they view wealth and abundance. And like a lot of times, you start looking at money and you look up the term wealth and abundance, you'll find out it has more to do with your health than it does to do with how much money you have. So it's like people really got to like reassess their values like during this time when Jupiter goes retrograde. It makes people kind of like, because Jupiter is the planet of luck and fortune and all the good stuff. When it goes retrograde, it kind of makes people think about, like a lot of things about their ego. A lot of things like when it comes to like money and wealth and how we view it, it makes us like kind of reassess that. And we might have to like, it makes you like want to more so give out charity gifts. Like a lot of people are getting gifts, a lot of people are giving gifts more. Makes people more charitable too during that time. So instead of people just being all about themselves and on the whole expansion and luck and materialism thing, kind of like helps people to kind of like look more within and like take a look within self-aware when it comes to like how you view your fortune and abundance and all that. So yeah, that's pretty much the Jupiter one, how that works.
Okay. So a lot of people are quite skeptical about planets and astrology and stuff. Like, for me, a question I want to ask: how do like the planetary alignments and like the planets and astrology, how does that actually connect with us as humans and us as people on Earth? Like, is it some sort of energy? Like, is it because of where the planets are placed? Is that some sort of gravity magnetic field or something? That's the correlation I want to like make.
Yeah, like on a scientific level.
Yeah.
Like our planet, like we're connected to the planet, so
yeah.
The way the ancients taught it was like when a planet makes an alignment, with a certain degree, which is a certain sacred geometrical like degree, like a 90 degree or 120 degree. These are different degrees that planets can make. You know what I'm saying? And they can line up with the Earth. And what happens is like Earth, we have a core of energy and like within the Earth, or whatever. So the Earth has energy and it's sending out energy, and then the Earth is actually getting back energy too. I'm sorry, the Earth is I guess you could say the universe is giving back energy to the Earth, whatever. So it's like an exchange going on of energy at all times based upon the core of the Earth, and by us being connected to the Earth, like we're connected to the Earth through our chakra system. So the planets pretty much like the way they affect us through our chakra system. It's a lot of energy, things like that take place. So a lot of it is not things that we can see, but at the same time, it's still very much real. You know what I'm saying? Like when you study it on more of a scientific, like atomic level, it starts to make a lot of sense or whatever. So. And a lot of it deals with light too, studying light. When you study the effect that light has on us, and each emits different types of light frequencies and vibrations. Because like you start studying like sound and light and things like that, really sound, light, and things like that are really the same, or the same thing. It's just a different vibration or frequency. So like light is vibrating a little faster than sound whatever. So what happens is like humans resonate with all these things. Like we resonate with sound and light. So the reason why astrology works or whatever is because of the fact that these light codes are being sent to us, and we're sending out light codes, and light codes are coming back. So pretty much like with that, each planet, like the ancients over time, you know what I'm saying, from different, I know some people don't really get into the whole ET thing, but from just different ET groups and things like that, they came to a lot of the ancients. Now we're talking about like the ancients from like ancient Egyptians, ancient Atlanteans, and all that. They over time like studied with a lot of these groups and were able to, I guess you could say, map out a lot of the attributes of each of these planets. So like, say for instance, like Venus has certain attributes the way it affects humans. Like Venus affects humans when it comes to love, relationships, and things like that, and partnerships and things like that. Whereas Mars affects our energy, like we were just talking about earlier. And then like the sun is like the planet that everybody knows about. So like when you say I'm Aries or I'm a Pisces, that's your sun sign. So the sun affects like your ego, like that's who you really generally are, like as far as the ego.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys ever like, have you ever studied the ego?
Yeah.
Have you ever? Yeah, like you study the ego, you know, that's kind of like they call it the false self, or whatever.
That's
But
right.
that's really just your sun sign. Like that's really just your how you express yourself. But a lot of times people get caught up into that, into actual part of themselves or whatever. So like say for instance, if you're an Aries, as an Aries or whatever, I mean you're gonna have strengths, you're gonna have weaknesses.
Yeah.
So you have to like know like okay, like your ego is gonna have like strong parts of it, like being an Aries, and then it's gonna have parts that make you kind of like weak being an Aries. So you can't like in order to like overcome that, you have to like go past identifying with the ego and know that you're a soul.
Yeah.
Like, you're much more than just the ego. You're actually a soul having the experience through the ego.
Yeah.
So like astrology is really a spiritual science mostly, but it can get very scientific. And back in the days, like the ancients really, they kind of mixed up science and spirituality, like I always teach or whatever. So to them, thinking about science was thinking about spirituality. So like now like we isolate everything. So we need to hear science, then we need to hear it from a spiritual point of view. But like back in the days, if you went to a mystery school, you was gonna learn everything from like science to spirituality to all of that, like wrapped up in one. So it sounds like it's a lot, but it's really not. But I mean, the planets affect us on the scientific level, and they affect us on the spiritual level. It's just, and they all really go hand in hand, pretty much.
So that's the bad thing about today, though, because they've definitely taken that spiritual aspect away from science, and they've made it all sort of like rigid and numbers and stuff. So sometimes it can be hard, especially for people like when they've learnt this sort of Western science, for them to sort of like step away from that.
And science, as you know, is means simply just to know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Science,
know,
the word science itself.
Okay.
So it just means to know.
Learn something new every day.
You have to remember, like we kind of like coming out of kind of like the dark ages because we've forgotten a lot. Like we don't really know as much anymore because a lot of scientists suppress a lot of information because, like, say for instance, if you're studying something and you believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old because you believe in the Bible. And say, for instance, you find a rock or something like that, and it's like 20 million years old or something like that. You're going to be like, I can't really tell the people that this rock is 20 million years old because I don't have an explanation, you know what I'm saying, for the fact that, like, you know, like, I believe the Earth is 6,000 years old, so how can I tell tell people that this rock is millions of years old? So you got a lot of that going on in the scientific community, too. Like, scientists don't necessarily even agree, and the science that we learn in the school is, like, really part of science. Like, a lot of stuff that they're finding out in science right now, like, they don't even tell people.
Yeah.
Like they find this stuff every day and they don't even tell you. Like they just keep it moving. So, and then when somebody talks about it, they'll be called crazy because I mean nobody really knows about it. So.
Yeah.
So that's like a lot of it, like with Western science, and that's like I guess people that are coming from Western culture, we're confused because we really are left in the dark a lot of times. Like we're coming out of the dark ages, but we're starting to get back. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge that we got slowly, we're getting back to the ages.
Slowly but surely, eh?
Yeah, no. But a lot of people can feel that change of like us going back to how it was.
Yeah.
Definitely
Going
want
back.
to do that.
Yeah, everybody's going back to the nature now.
Yeah.
That's all about.
Yeah. I mean, do you believe that people will be forced to because of the possible economic crash, what could be hitting the planet soon? People will be forced to go back to nature to rethink how they live their life on a daily basis. Do you think that is a real possibility?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. It's funny you brought that up because I was just reading some, the Tibetan monks. Like I really get into the Tibetan monks and when they like release statements and stuff. Like they do a lot of meditating and they can pick up on things like a lot of times before they happen or whatever. Like they pick up on a lot of energy, and they kind of made a statement what you were saying about like pretty much how people are going to be forced to go back to nature and things like that. And they made some predictions about 2012 and everything and things that they think may happen or whatever. So I could read some of it if you want me to, like a statement that they made.
Yeah.
And it was,
yeah, why not? Definitely, yeah. Please do.
If I was looking over it, and I'm like, well, I might as well just share it with you since you.
Most definitely.
I definitely know some people out there probably need to hear it, but it's kind of written in like an English where like I think they speak some form of, I don't know exactly which language they speak, so it's translated into kind of like a broken English, but you can kind of follow it. So it says fall and winter will be warm, and it says from December the 21st, 2012, Earth will begin to pass through the galactic zero band. There's a special space where the blanket and not be subject to any energy, with complete darkness and silence, the electricity and communications. Darkness will be accompanied by flashes of light, as well as the play of light and shadow. Sometimes it may be seen that roam figures, as if the dead rose from their graves. Earth will shake slightly, like a small earthquake. Some buildings can be destroyed. Warn one mama. Animals feel the earth before the coming of the cosmic dark and go to the ground, said one monk. People in cities do not feel, so are the victims of insanity. And over 10% of the population could be lost. So, like, that's just like a statement that they made, whatever. Like, they just made the statement to NASA. And pretty much it's talking about, like, a lot of things that happen, like, a lot of shifts are going to happen because, like, when we go through this shift or whatever, and I'm going to talk more about the alignments later on in the show, but we're going to go through, like, a couple of shifts or whatever, and it can cause, like, total blackness. It can cause, like, a lot of our satellites and stuff like that to go out if we lose gravity or whatever during a certain point. Like the Earth has like certain magnetic fields, and like when we go through the zero band, a lot of people are predicting that magnetic fields kind of like destabilize or whatever. So, and that can cause like kind of like a lot of chaos or whatever on the planet. It can cause a lot of electrical outages and things of that nature. So,
because touch on the electromagnetic field. I've heard also that the Earth's electromagnetic field will be decreasing, and a lot of energies from other planetary systems will be able to activate the Earth. Is that right?
Yeah, that's definitely right. Because the electromagnetic field kind of like shields us in a way. You know, it's kind of like a shield, and like when we go through the zero band, it does like decrease. It goes to like zero, and it does. It can kind of cause a lot of outside energies to affect us, and a lot of energies. Like, we can send out a lot of energy, too, you know what I'm saying? And it can actually affect our memory, too, because, like, magnetism is, like, what keeps our memory intact.
Yeah.
Like, on this planet. Like, if the magnetism on this planet was to go to zero, it would cause us to forget. Like, literally to forget a lot. So when it's saying about people going insane, like in this prophecy, the monks were talking about people going insane, that's probably what they're talking about. Like, a lot of people are going to forget, because, like, we've already really forgot how to live in nature.
Yeah.
So like, say for instance, like all the electricity went out or something, like most people would go crazy after about 3-4 days of not being able to eat or not being able to get certain foods and stuff. So it's not scare people, but it's just people know what could happen. I don't, personally know if this is going to happen in a few weeks. Like a lot of people believe 2012 is going to be in like 2 weeks, and it's just everything's going to go down. But I believe in the next 8 years things are going to go down because of certain prophecies that I studied from the Mayans directly. So, and they and they talk about how it's going to be like 15 years altogether or more as far as this. Because the shift to zero band takes about 15 years. So.
Because, I mean, a lot of the teachers, such as like Bobby Hemmett and so forth, talk about it being 2012 being a season, not a specific date as such.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely right.
And people a lot of people have got it twisted, haven't they? Yeah. And expecting something to happen on this date, and I think that's probably part of the plan as well by the so-called power brokers to try and catch people off guard, so to speak, innit? So that they don't so that they give up, because first you had like 1999, 2000, and certain other things, the Olympic Games. Yeah. So people probably thinking, oh well, nothing's really gonna happen. So what's the point?
Yeah. It was it's.
I don't know how conscious you guys were in '99, but do you remember how everything was in '99 when they said Y2K was gonna happen?
Yeah.
What's Y2K?
going into 2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was just like this. Like a lot of people don't remember, but it was just like this. Everybody was really freaking out.
Yeah, yeah.
They thought that the calendars were going to get reset or whatever. And
That's
I'm not
right.
saying
Yeah, yeah.
happen. And a lot of what's going to happen is mistranslated. A lot of it is.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying. It's like mistranslated, and that's just because of ignorance. People don't really know.
Yeah, yeah. And like people like yourself who've bothered to look deeper into these subjects and really get a feel of it on a deeper level. It's good, and there needs to be more people like this who can really delve deep into the knowledge of self, really, because that's what all of it is, really, as it says, as above, so below. I mean, the study of the stars is, you know,
As above, as below.
yeah.
Know thyself.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, it's going to be hard for more people. I mean, it was always, you know, I guess you could say it's always like one person to help spark the many or whatever. So, I mean, unfortunately, right now, the way it is, it's hard for everybody to do it because the way Matrix and everything. People were scared. A lot of fear out there.
Busy lifestyles and the general fear of these particular subjects in itself. People don't like to look further into it because the compromising their own personal lifestyles. Their lifestyles would have to change, and that's one thing which people don't like to delve into. Change is quite difficult for most, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, change is the only constant, but it's the most difficult thing for humans.
Definitely.
I mean, humans are definitely creatures of habit.
So how can astrology help people in their busy schedules, and how to overcome their busy schedules, and how can astrology help them in this matrix?
I like astrology because it like I call it. I mean, you can work. Of course, you can do like time magic. I call it time magic or whatever. But even just essentially working off of the energies of the moon. I mean, you can do so much like working off the energies of the moon, like because the moon is the fastest moving planet. So just to kind of go through it or whatever. So the moon goes through the zodiac, like every 28 days or whatever. It goes through all 13 signs of the zodiac every 28 days. So like you work a lot of energy. Like when the moon goes in different signs, it causes people to be affected different ways. Like I remember when I was studying marketing, I found out that a lot of the marketing companies used to go to astrologers, like, because they were planning like certain sales off of like the moon or whatever. Like I don't know if you've heard like the Midnight Madness sale and different sales that they used to plan or whatever off the moon or whatever, like Monday Night Madness or whatever. That would be based off of different lunar energy. So like a lot of the Fortune 500 companies like know about timing and how to plan your life. But I mean, on a day-to-day level, I mean, there's so much you can do, like from just planning certain meditations based upon the moon, going into certain constellations, certain houses, or planning on, say for instance, if you were going to sign a contract, you know what I'm saying, like just knowing knowing when to sign a contract when the moon goes into a particular constellation or whatever. So I mean, you could do a lot like working off lunar energy, and then like solar energy. Solar energy is kind of like, say for instance, like when the sun switches signs, you can work off of that energy too. So like when the sun goes from like Aries to, say for instance, it goes from Aries to Taurus, whatever. Like when the sun is in Aries, you can kind of research some of the things that are good for when the sun is in Aries. Like sun in Aries is kind of like when you want to start new projects. You know what I'm saying? You want to kind of like take that fresh start. If you're like in any type of competitive sports or anything like that you might be engaged in, it's a good time to engage in any type of acts of competition when the sun is in Aries. But then like, say for instance, when the sun goes into Taurus, then it's time to focus on your home. It's time to focus on your relationships. It might be time to focus more on like getting your personal hygiene together, like going shopping, things like that. So like you can do a lot, like just working out the solar, the lunar energies or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, on a personal, just on a day-to-day level. And then you got your natal chart, which is like a whole other story. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's like going into like more of like who you are as a person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And like learning who you are, and then like once you like study who you are, you know what I'm saying, then you can kind of create the life that, you know what I'm saying, your soul wanted to experience or whatever before it came here. Because like the ancients taught that like really on Earth, like the whole reason why we're here is to learn. Like our soul came here as like pretty much like a researcher. Like our soul came here to learn or whatever. So when you look into your natal chart, that teaches you a lot about like why you came here or whatever. Like, or it gives you an idea a lot of why you came here. Like nobody can tell you 100% like you're here to do this, that, and that. But you can look into your natal chart. You know, you look at certain energies and certain tendencies and certain things about your psychological makeup, your mental makeup, and that can help you to make a better assessment on Like, should I take this job? Should I get with this person? Like, just day-to-day stuff that we take for granted. A lot of this stuff, like astrology has answers for, to help us stay more in harmony and in line with nature too. So, because the planets are definitely a part of nature. Like, I mean,
So,
they are a part of nature.
so how can people look more into their natal chart? I mean, for beginners, so to speak, how would they be able to do that?
I mean, just the beginning of it is just knowing your birthday, and even if you don't know the time of birth, just having your birthday and knowing what city you were born in. And they got a lot of sites out there you can go on to get, like to go ahead and get like a free natal chart. Now, a lot of times you get those free natal charts, it might not be 100% accurate, but at least you know something about yourself versus what the Matrix has taught you. Because like right now, people just kind of like they find an image for themselves. Like what they do is find an image in the Matrix for themselves, and they just kind of play off of that. Like you'd be surprised how much people's lives are based off of somebody else or what they've been programmed to think and believe or whatever. So like right now, it's not even based off of the natal chart. Like how people make their decisions. It's based off of what television says or what your friend says or something outside of self. So the first thing you do is like get the natal chart. Like no matter how accurate it is, you know what I'm saying, just to like start to learn about your energies or whatever. You can go on any website and do that. You just need, like I said, your date of birth, and your name or whatever. You can also numerology as well, for people that are into that. Because like numerology is a little bit more concrete since it's the study and the science of numbers, and that can teach you a lot about your energies as well too. So,
okay.
Yeah, but astrology to me is a little bit more. I guess when you deal with like psychology, like to me like astrology could like really replace psychology. Like if a person is to go to a psychologist, they could go to an astrologer and probably get like some really good advice. Like probably get the same, if not better, advice or whatever. So to me, astrology is great because it really can counsel people. It's a form of counsel. It's a form of timing. It's a form of planning. You can just do so much with it. So
that's right. I mean, because that it's used that way in the Buddhist religion, isn't it? Astrology to help people.
I think in Hinduism too.
And Hinduism, yeah.
Yeah, Hinduism. They have certain meditations based off of certain planets. Like you can do Venus meditations, you can do Mars meditations. Yeah, so it can get pretty spiritual. Like
So the West basically with their methods of teaching and what they teach has really confused the science.
Yeah.
So to speak, haven't they? They've confused science because
they're basically what I call speculative.
Yeah.
Okay, you have speculative and you have operative, and most astrologers nowadays, or most Western people nowadays, were speculative or whatever. And back in the days, the ancients were very much more operative with the science or whatever. So like a lot of it has been lost. So like now people laugh at you when you say you were an astrologer, whereas back in the days, if you were an astrologer, you were a very respected person. Like you know what I'm saying, you were probably like a builder. It was kind of like the equivalent of saying you were an engineer right now. Like right now, if you say you're an engineer, of course people respect you because that's a very respected field. But back in the days when astrology was more developed upon, it was definitely a deep science, like it was the operative part of it and the speculative part. So the speculative part is like when you like looking at human nature and studying tendencies in humans, but then you have a part of astrology where you can like build based off astrology, like you can align your structures with certain planets, like certain star constellations and stuff. You got to ask yourself, like, why was the ancients so obsessed with building their structure and certain alignment with these stars? Like it has to mean something. It has to mean something. So, and I was going to talk a little bit about Giza eventually, and we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, because someone the other day said to me that because originally I thought that the pyramids at Giza were in alignment with the Orion's belt.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's apparently going to happen on the 21st.
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on tomorrow. Actually, So, I got a lot of notes on this. I don't want to go too deep.
Okay, so tomorrow, is there an alignment of some sort tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, actually in a few hours, because it's going to be in Egypt. It's based on the Egyptian time, so not exactly sure which time zone they're in, but I know it should be coming up in the next few hours. But these stars are going to align. It's going to be like in the morning time in Egypt, like right before the sun comes up in Egypt.
Okay.
These three, it's not stars actually; they're planets because they look like stars. And the planet of Mercury, Saturn, and Venus is going to align with the Giza complex. Giza is like 3 pyramids.
That's right. Yeah.
The Queen's Chamber, the King's Chamber, and all that. So these planets are going to perfectly, pretty much, depending on which angle you're looking at it from. Like if you're looking at it standing on the northwest corner of Giza and you took a picture from the northwest corner of the Giza complex, you would be looking at, according to my research, like you would be looking at this alignment or whatever. That's supposed to be like tomorrow or whatever. And very significant because we already know that Giza is already aligned with Orion. Like the way Giza is built, it's already aligned with the Orion constellation already.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a triple alignment going on. Just I don't want to confuse people. It's kind of like you got Giza, which is aligning with Mercury, Venus, and Saturn, and then you have that aligning with Orion's belt. And Orion has like 6 stars that's involved with Orion's belt, and Giza is aligned with that. So that's essentially what's going on as far as like on a physical level, and it has a lot of spiritual significance. Like I could go into a lot of it. It's kind of like an initiation, like the way I'm looking at it. Like me just researching it or whatever, like on a spiritual level, I think humanity is getting ready to be initiated into this no time or zero band that we go into, because of these planets and like what they represent or whatever. But just kind of going to Giza before I really talk about the planets, like Giza itself is like a portal.
So we've lost you.
Much,
sorry, Rahul. Can you just repeat that, please? Because we lost you for a minute there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was just saying that before I talk about the planets actually aligning and what that means, I want to talk about Giza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giza is like a portal in and of itself. Like it pretty much Giza aligns with the center of the earth, like the way it's built by the Egyptians. And like from my research, there's like a chamber up under Giza, like a well up under Giza, and this well leads to like, if you follow it, it's a tunnel that leads like so many thousands of miles into the earth. Not totally into the center, but deep enough into the earth to where like it's like a shaft, and this energy, it sends what's called, you have like light energy and dark energy, and the light energy is located within the center of the earth. So what happens is that this energy it beams out from, it's channeled and it was built in a way where it sends this energy in alignment directly to the center of the galaxy. Giza directly is a portal that links our center of the earth to the center of the galaxy. So like, you start talking about time travel and all this type of stuff, it's very much possible. You know what I'm saying? You study the Giza complex to get like deep into time travel, and that's what they really built it for. I mean, like we think the Giza complex is kind of like a burial ground, like that's what most people think. It was like that's where, but it was really like an initiation ground. Like it was actually where the kings would go to get initiated to be like priests or whatever. They would have to go and do various different initiations in the Giza complex. So like it really represents an initiation ground. So by those planets lining up there, like Mercury, Saturn, and Venus, and lining up there, that's kind of like going to be like, I guess you could say, a metaphysical initiation.
Okay.
For humanity at that time. And Orion has 6 stars. Like when you talk about heaven, like in the Bible or different scripts, like they always say heaven, but really the original, I guess you could say, translation for heaven was Uranus, which is the star constellation of Orion. So like Orion is a very key star constellation when it came to the ancients, and it has like 6 stars. And the brightest star in Orion is called Regal. So R-I-G-E-L, Regal. And the ancients called Regal, call it Papa Legba. And Papa Legba was like another name for Regal or whatever. And Papa Legba or Regal was like the brightest star in the Orion belt. Like it's like the Greek name for it was Regal, but like in West Africa and like the Yoruba religion, they called it Legba. And this particular star is very bright. It's the 7th brightest star in the sky. It's the brightest star in the Orion belt, but it's the 7th brightest star like out of all the stars in the sky or whatever. So, I mean, you got to think if some planets are getting ready to align with that particular star, and we already know that Giza is lined up with the center of the Earth. All these alignments is getting ready to create like a really, like pretty much like a really intense type of energy that's going to hit this planet. And if you do a little bit of research on it, it's basically like on I think tomorrow's the 3rd or whatever. So on 12/3, between 12/3 and 12/21, which is the date that they say everything's supposed to happen, it's like 18 days in between that or whatever. And if you like pretty much multiply, if you figure out like how many minutes are located within 18 days, it's like 25,920 minutes in 18 days.
Wow.
And if you figure out it's 25,000, it takes 25,920 years for us to go through what's called a precession of the equinox.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's the exact precise amount of time for a precession of equinoxes. So in this particular alignment, you got to keep this in mind too. I know I'm saying a lot here, but I mean, you can go back over it. But this particular alignment happens every 2,737 years. So I guess my question is like, don't you think that this is something very significant? I mean, this has to be something very significant for all these numbers to match up and all these alignments and all this stuff going on or whatever, like all in like 1 month or whatever. So I think pretty much what I'm saying is going to be initiation into this zero band thing we're getting ready to go into. So we're getting ready to go. I guess this is the last little phase of our existence as we knew it before. You know, we go into zero time or whatever. I mean, going into the energies of the Galactic Center. So yeah, pretty interesting alignment going on with Giza right now.
Yeah. So what can people do to prepare for this?
The best thing to do is just to it's nothing to get scared about, like, because when you study like energies and alignments, they take a long time to really affect humans, and that's why I don't really freak out like when people say, well, December the 21st, 2012, like everything's just gonna go down or whatever. And that's not really how energy works. So it takes light so many minutes and seconds to even touch this planet. So that means it takes energy, time to manifest and play itself out. So right now, people just need to get prepared for like the financial crash, like you were saying, pretty much get prepared to like live off of nature. Like the more you plan to live off of nature, because I mean, pretty much what they're saying is going to happen is it's going to be like an electrical type of crash. I mean, of course, that can lead to a monetary crash because everything in our society is ruled by electricity. Like everything in our society is ruled by electricity. I mean, you talk about money, like all money is digital now. So, like, if the electricity went out, it is a possibility that, you know, the economic system could get messed up or whatever. I don't think these things are going to happen, like, next month or whatever, but I do think they're going to happen over the next 8 years. Like, according to the ancients. So, people can get prepared by just some of the things they say, like, store up. Well, the first thing you want to do is pay off your debt. Try to get out of debt.
Pay for your debts.
Pay off your debt. That's the first thing you want to do. There's a lot of reasons for that, you know what I'm saying? So you can just clear yourself mentally. Then after that, you know what I'm saying, you want to start storing up food, water, firewood, any type of candles, all that type of stuff. You want to definitely stop watching as much television. Like people that sit up there and watch like television, try to get yourself used to not watching as much television. Because like watching a lot of television, I mean, that just is going to distract you from really being able to get in tune with yourself or whatever. And like, it might come a time where you can't watch any television, so you want to kind of like train your mind and get it used to kind of like, I guess you could say like meditating a lot, kind of get it used to not being preoccupied with gadgets and cell phones and just get ready like in case we had to go off the grid. Just like pretty much like what would you do if like we went off the grid? And that's pretty much how you prepare. Like you got to ask yourself like, well, what would I do if there was no electricity? Like what would I do to survive? And that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, what I suggest to people. I mean, not to get real spooky, I still think we have time. I don't think the dark days are coming in like the next few weeks, but that's just me, you know. It's like being like hopeful, optimistic, but
But I suppose we have to be prepared anyway. We have to get prepared right now because anything could happen at any time. I mean, an earthquake could strike at any point, at anywhere. So, I mean, who knows what could be coming at the CMEs? You know, solar flares could hit at any point. So, I mean, I know ourselves here, we're not entirely prepared. So we need to get our asses in gear.
Yeah, we've discussed this as well.
We've discussed this for a couple of years now. And do you know what I mean? We're still not prepared. And I think the apathy takes over.
I'm just about there, but I'm not 100% there yet. I'm just about there. I just got to get more survival equipment. But, you know, like the most conservative scientists can predict that like, even if nothing happened with 2012, like, they predict that we can only live as humans on this planet the way we're living for another 40 years.
Okay.
Like, wow. Anyway, so, I mean, that goes to show, anyway, we got to teach our children, like, about survival and living off the planet.
Not to be so damn greedy, innit? Because we become greedy, innit? Gluttonous and, you know, we just want more and more and more and more.
Unfortunately, people need to fix up.
Most def. Yeah, I think this alignment tomorrow, because I didn't know until you mentioned it earlier on, actually. And I like to think I'm keeping up to tabs with what's going on, especially in the cosmos. And I think this alignment tomorrow is very significant for all of humanity. Nobody knows about it. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, this is a good opportunity tonight for people to pass the message on to their friends, their family, and just, you know, just to prepare themselves and just be in love, isn't it, really? That's the bottom line, isn't it, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because we're all going to make it. I mean, like, even if something disastrous happens, I mean, like, even when you talk about the Papa Legba, like, when you study Papa Legba, he creates a lot of disaster or whatever. Like you study him like a deity, like he the deity of the Orishas or whatever. So he creates a lot of disaster, but he's a teacher. He creates disaster only to teach you out of this confusion, because there are lessons in disaster, just like there's lessons in good. There's lessons in evil, just like there's lessons in good. So it's not about getting out scared, like you said. It's just about preparing.
Yeah.
You know, and getting ready for love. You're right, because I mean, love is going to be the ultimate force that helps us to make the shift. Like, it doesn't matter if people die or not. I mean, we're all going to make it to the fourth dimension anyway.
Yeah. I mean, so I mean, if you could explain also, go and touch on the fourth dimension.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of people probably won't know what you mean by that.
Yeah, the fourth dimension, like some people, now this can get confusing only because like words and terms, I guess you can say in words. But the fourth dimension, some people call it the fourth density or the fourth plane. But there's like different, you know what I'm saying, like planes of our reality. We have like the spirit, the physical, the spiritual. You have like the mental or whatever, or like the material plane. And pretty much the fourth dimension is the plane of the mental world or whatever, and that's the plane we're getting ready to go into. So like when you watch the movies, like you see like a lot of the movies is based on like the fourth dimension. Like when you watch like Inception, and that's kind of like a fourth dimensional movie because they're like bringing. You watch The Matrix, they were hooking their brains up to machines and experiencing reality from the fourth dimension. When you watch movies like The Circuits, that's kind of like telling you the fourth dimension. So there's a lot of movies that teach about the fourth dimension, but essentially what it is that it's that realm where our mind exists at. Like your mind is not like the physical reality is only one level of reality or whatever. Like your mind exists on like a higher reality or whatever. So the fourth dimension is called the mental plane. Some people call it like the plane of force or whatever. So like this is the plane like where thoughts become things and stuff like that. So this plane is very real. It's hard to understand, you know what I'm saying? But it's very real or whatever. It's kind of like the only way to really understand it is if you understand like dreaming and meditation and stuff like that. And if you understand like how to manifest from like a mental level, that type of mental alchemy, you can kind of better understand the fourth dimension. But it's more real than this dimension. It's the reality that creates this reality. It makes this reality real.
Because
like you know how.
Like,
the brain kind of like, you know, it's taught by scientists that the brain kind of like perceives reality, and like really like what you're seeing is kind of like, it's kind of like light bouncing back off or whatever. So what you're seeing is really happening after the fact or whatever.
Yeah.
Based off of light or whatever. You're seeing through your brain. So your brain is the connection that connects this reality to the fourth dimension. Kind of like a computer.
Okay.
So like the computer piece of hardware that connects you to the fourth dimension. So your brain connects you there, but that realm is real. You can do stuff there. You can create there. You can experience there. So that's kind of like what it is, like just to lay a foundation. And I mean, you can manipulate. You can work through it through meditation. You can work through it through dreaming. I mean, you can work in it from a lot of different levels. I mean, a lot of scientists are like doing a lot of machines that kind of like resonate with the fourth dimension because they're like building these machines that kind of like hook up to and they like resonate with your brain signals and stuff like that. Like your brain sends out electromagnetic, like kind of like electric signals or whatever. And these signals, they hook these machines up to your brain or whatever, and they kind of create like a reality based upon the fourth dimension that way too. So like when you watch like the Avatar again, like that Avatar's kind of like another movie. Excuse me. A lot of movies that talk about the fourth dimension.
So like the dream world and lucid dreaming, because I've had a few experiences in my lucid dream, in my dreams, becoming lucid and changing the environment and so forth. Are we talking about like that where we are like becoming sort of like co-creators, if you like, or gods?
Yeah, the concept of co-creation, or the concept of like, you ever studied the Kabbalion, or have you ever studied universal law? Yeah, the concept of just working with the mind to create physical reality. The way you do that is by understanding the mechanics of the mind, how it works. So you have to understand polarity, you have to understand rhythm, density, and things like that. And when you understand all these things and you bring them together, that's how you learn how to like create through the mind and through like lucid dreaming and stuff like that. I mean, it takes a lot of practice. You have like shared dreaming. I mean, you have so many different, I guess you could say, arts and sciences that will like help you to learn more about the fourth dimension. But it takes like all of them take like a lot of concentration and practice to learn how to really manipulate reality through the mental state. And that's why when most people hear about it, they're like, this just sounds like, you know, like something that's just too hard to do, because like you don't realize that you're always doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the first thing you got to realize, that you're doing it. Like, so a lot of times when we think that we can't do a thing, that's why it never happens for us, because we always think that it can't happen. Like you're always mentally programming yourself, like at all times. So the best way to start off, you want to get into mental sciences, is to learn how to live in the now, and to learn how to like observe your thoughts, like observe them from a state of like the observer, and then you'll kind of see how you program yourself, because you'll like kind of take a step back, and you'll be like, damn, I kind of told myself that I could do that, and that's why it didn't happen or whatever. Like at the end of the day, we kind of like do what's called like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like we fulfill our own prophecies like a whole lot of times, whatever, because we program the mind without really realizing it. You know what I'm saying? So kind of deep, and it's through belief and like much through like what we believe and stuff like that. So
yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So basically, then people can meditate, do more energy work, because of these alignments which are coming, and because the energies which are coming onto the earth. Energy work in terms of expanding their own electromagnetic field and so forth. With these sort of exercises like Qigong, Tai Chi, yoga, Reiki, other healing modalities like pranic and so forth, will these be ideal for the time that we're coming into, and the time that we're in now?
Yeah, these will be the spiritual cycles that like most people will need these type of people in order to like heal from what we're going to go through. Say for instance, if a situation happened where the electromagnetic fields did go down, I just want to make this real or whatever. Like say for instance, the electromagnetic fields went down and people did lose their memories. You would need someone there, like a therapist, a mental therapist, or someone that could help people to remember certain things. And like you would need like a meditation coach, or like a past life regression coach, or like a transcendental, like somebody that teaches transcendental meditation. Like all of these type of I guess you could say skills and talents and gifts will be needed in the future or whatever. So it's very much very much all the spiritual sciences are going to become very key, like in the future, like astrology, all that stuff, because a lot of people are going to forget a lot about like not even just how to work with nature, but forget a lot about themselves when we go through shit. I mean, like if we do lose our memories and a lot of insanity does hit the planet, it will be healers that are going to have to like heal everybody again and get everything back going right. So it's sort of like
so basically we could be going.
Going to have to be rethought.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember the movie Mad Max?
Mad Max. That's one I missed out on.
Okay.
I've never seen that.
well, watch it. I mean, that's a great depiction of what could be. People going crazy and knuckle dragging apes again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think.
And I see that one. That was one I missed out on.
Yeah, that's a brilliant film. There's quite a few films which have connotations of what could be occurring on the planet. You know. But I think a lot of them as well are based on fear, aren't they? As well, Ra?
What were you saying? I'm sorry.
A lot of these films, they're based on fear.
To put fear into people.
Put fear into people.
They're based on fear because your emotions sells the films though. Like they got to play off the emotions of people. Yeah. So they got if they just made it like real like say for instance 2012, like if they had told the real story of what's probably happening in 2012, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Because like no energy hits the planet that quick. Like even if it was a pole shift that would happen, unless it was a physical pole shift, which is a possibility, but like even a magnetic pole shift wouldn't cause that many disasters to happen on the planet, and the whole entire world wouldn't end because like the Earth has been through this before. I mean, that's the first thing you got to remember. So the Earth is still. It's like the Earth is getting ready to like blow up or something like that. And it's like a lot of Hollywood. What they do, I guess, get back to the point is they push that fear because that's the way you're gonna sell the film, and they don't push love. I mean, because you can use love too to like I guess you could say to feed people emotionally, but they choose to feed people through fear. Yeah. So like. They're psychic vampires. Right? But I mean, at the same time, it's a lot of jewels and like a lot of the stuff that's in Hollywood, like a lot of the films. Like most of the people that make those films are like occultists and deep researchers that study a lot of the stuff we're talking about right now. So, and they pretty much know what's going to really happen, and they kind of put it in film because they're obligated to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna take like a film, like they're not gonna get on TV and be like, the world's getting ready to end, and everybody. But no, they're not going to tell you like that. They're going to put out a movie or something. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And they certainly won't tell us about the galactic alignments and the benefits for humanity. Do you know what I mean? And the meditations and so forth that we need to be doing to usher in these new energies coming in.
Yeah, very magical moment. Like if you're into any type of like work with your ancestors, like when these planets align, it's like this energy. The energy that's gonna be available is more of a magical energy.
Yeah.
The planet Mercury was represented by Tahuti, according to like the Egyptians and stuff. So like Mercury is really Tahuti, and then Saturn and then Venus is kind of like planets that will reinforce the energy of magic. So like Mercury is pretty much like a planet that we use to work with magic too. So it's gonna be like a magical moment. Like really, like I try to tell people, it's kind of like what you make. If you like vibrating off of the vibrations of love, it will be very much like a loving time for you.
Yeah.
You're vibrating, vibrating fear. You know, all the bad stuff may happen to you because like everything right now is gonna come back at you based on what you think. So.
Okay, what we're gonna do now, right, is take a short break because I need the loo.
Nature calls.
Nature calls, you know, and then we can touch more. We can touch after we come back. Touch more on the magical side of things because I like that. I like love and magic, and you know, I like fairies and butterflies and okay, maybe not.
Has my spirit come inside you or something?
I think so, maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so I guess nature's calling for Brother Haru. You know how it is.
Men are getting into the feminine and women are getting into the masculine. Everybody's kind of balancing themselves out.
Yeah. We're supposed to be coming into our true selves, and I hope that I am, but I'm not going to go the other way. Okay, so make that clear, okay?
Yeah.
You can still like fairies and be masculine. It's alright, you know. Alright then, Ra. We're going to end this call and come back to you in about 3 or 4 minutes. Is that okay? So please enjoy the music also, yeah?
Yes. Alright.
Okay.
We'll be back seeing people.
Okay, hold up.
Yeah. Check. Who they down for? Live from Cloud9. Yeah. Check. I see the big picture. It's clear to me now more than ever. I sit with a calm spirit. These boulders I'm holding are now feathers. Yeah. This is my life of proud double beats. My thoughts are now in sync with the stars I realign. With these walls I redefine a 16. I.e. prey on them seas, I am that 16. I am that kick in the snare, prepared pristine picture, I swear, something like Angela. Either artist, no artist can hold a candle to. Mind close to the cosmos I travel to. Go to war with the stars I'm trekking. I am Picard and move together, make my sky walk. Live from Cloud9, who they down for? Tell them act close, yeah. Who they down for? Yeah. Live from Cloud9, act close, yeah. Who they down for? Act proof. Live from Cloud9. Tell me, how big is your world? Scope in a snow globe? Shook up, they put up with views, touching my palms. 23rd songs, original bars. Spar with the prongs of a devil's pitchfork, attempt to draw my own conclusion, it's art. The broad stroke of a quote. I'm touching everybody, give them hope. So give me rope, double dutch, and most choke. Plus they wanna hang and what a nuisance. Plus a nuisance, just too much. It's strange how I strangle them. Loop it up the math of a drum pattern. Arranging them, it's kindreds in my brain. It's keeping me in line while I iron out the wrinkles. I'm bringing them more just to intrigue you. It's my Van Gogh ear while I give it to you here. So you hear what I'm saying? What I gave them was a piece of me. So piece me back together, please. It's me and E live from Cloud9. What they down for? Tell them act proof. Who they down for? Yeah. Live from Cloud9. Act proof. Yeah. Who they down for? Act proof. Live from Cloud9.
The forecast for Durham Raleigh now, considerable cloudiness and turning colder tonight with a predicted low of 33 degrees. Tomorrow,
All of the kids in the neighborhood say Tootsie Roll Pops are triple good.
nope.
This is the end of the song, right? Oh no, I think I was listening to this morning, this song.
Okay.
And I was like to Justice, what's this?
Innervibe show on Essence Radio. This is Yaz Alexander.
So,
That's our jingle.
So, in a vibe. Yeah, man. Big up
Yaz Alexander for doing that
doubt,
for us.
For real.
Beautiful singer, definitely. But
and we'll have her on the show soon as well.
Yeah.
In the new year, if we survive, 21st of December 2012.
Okay. Anyway, right. For those.
No. I'm not advocating it to be doom and gloom, by the way. Okay,
no,
it's a joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those of you who've just tuned in, after that beautiful song, who's that song by?
Sorry.
Who's that song by?
Cloud9.
And what's it called?
Cloud9 Live.
Right, Cloud9 Live. Right, joining us today. Oh,
this one, yeah?
Yeah, that one. You played it again.
Yeah. Do you want to play it again?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's go back into the show.
It's Black from the Black Boy Radio album.
Yeah. Well, some beautiful hip hop vibes. But joining us today, for those of you who've just tuned in, we've got Ra Imhotep. He is a astrologer, amongst other things. There's quite a few things to this.
Very talented.
Yeah,
very gifted.
Extremely talented man.
We studied crystals as well. Yeah.
Okay.
We've not even touched on the crystals, but we can have him on for another show for that. That's for sure.
That's the good thing about the Innervibe show. We love connecting with other people because there's some. I mean, everyone's got some great knowledge that they can share, and that's how we. That's a good, beautiful thing about humanity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He's a healer, so.
Yeah. Like us. So.
Yeah.
But so let's just get back into it.
Let's get back into it.
Yeah. Let's call Ra Imhotep.
All right.
Hello.
Hotep. Yeah, man.
Let's get back into it.
Did you like the music, Ra? You liking it?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the music because I actually stepped outside.
Okay. Oh dear. Okay. Never mind.
Anyway, so I think before the show we were sort of like saying that we're going to start discussing about the magical side of things and love. And Brother Haru for some reason wants to talk about butterflies and fairies, but you don't have to talk about that. It's fine.
Oh, he said about. Say that again. He said fairies.
She reckons that I want to talk about fairies. I didn't know where I said that. The magical stuff, and if that includes fairies, then so be it.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing I can't cover. I mean, I've studied fairies. I've studied a little bit about fairies.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, the fairies are just like those beings that were on this planet. They say before humanity got here, these are supposed to be angels and beings of love that keep like I guess that work from Mother Nature, keep everything in harmony. So like it's nothing that humanity could really do to a point to really destroy this planet. Like I mean, because if they did, certain fairies, certain divas, certain angels of love would come in and like intervene. Whatever. So like most of the fear and stuff like that, I mean that's the security in it that we have. Is like most of the fear and stuff that people push is really just an illusion because I mean there are like entities that are designed or that are here and that are commissioned to basically keep this planet in check.
Okay.
And so like your fairies, your divas. So I mean love is the highest vibration. Here can only exist where love is not present pretty much. So I mean like love comes on the scene, it pretty much shuts down everything else. So
and the dark cannot enter love.
Nah, it can't. It can't. Love is just too pure. And like really like the fear is it feeds off of love really like or the lack of it I should say. Like fear can't enter your heart unless you really don't understand love or like you've been pretty much love like requires a lot of faith. So the only time fear really enters your heart is when you give up on love, I guess you could say. So, and then that's when and that's on every level. So like humans have gave up on love on so many levels right now. I personally get back to that love in nature.
So the magical aspects of it in terms of trying to manifest things at these times, would it be easier, say, for someone to work a certain magic? I know a lot of Christians and a lot of mainstream religions keep away from magic, so to speak. But I mean, magic is all around us, and
Yeah.
I think that is one thing which
it's people's misinterpretations
Yeah.
of the word, because when people hear magic, they think, ooh, evil, witch, you know, that sort of thing.
It's funny you're saying this because do you guys have a Macy's over there in the UK? I'm sure you do.
A what?
what's that called? Sorry, Macy's.
Oh, like a big store.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think our version would be like
John Lewis or
John
something?
Lewis or Debenhams or
Yeah.
Selfridges. I think
Yeah.
Selfridges is probably the
closest, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I recently went to Macy's and I'm looking at this bag, right? And it was funny when you went on the break, I was looking at this bag I have, and it has like a magic wand on it, and it has all these stars, and it says "Believe."
Okay.
And, like, these things stick out to me because like corporations believe, like they teach magic, they push magic, they use magic to do everything that they do as far as, you know, like their success in business, like work and like they work rituals and they put the magic right in front of you. I mean, it's like a magic wand, and I'm just thinking about how.
That's right. Right in front of our faces, isn't it? I mean, apparently, Hollywood. Holly means is some sort of word for magic, isn't it, or something? Holy.
Yeah, the holly tree. The holly tree was used for. It was like a tree that's used by the Druids.
Yeah.
They would use bark of a Hollywood to perform spells. They used it as a magic wand, pretty much, the Hollywood tree. So that's where they got it from. Okay. Yeah, and they use magic. I mean, like, and then on the other side of the bag it says "Believe." Like it's funny. Like it has a magic wand on one side, it has a bunch of stars, and on the other side it says
"Believe."
Believe, and that's so interesting because that's the key to magic.
Yeah,
like,
it's belief. Yeah.
And it's telling you right here. And it's just funny. Like I'm just thinking about millions of people probably walk around with this bag and don't have a clue what they're really telling you, and it's the truth. So I mean, like to answer your question, I mean, magic will work a lot more right now, like especially in these times or whatever. I mean, because of, like we're kind of like, I'm not gonna go too deep to the quarantine, but like since the quarantine is being lifted, a lot of our psychic energies and like a lot of our telepathic energies that we once had as humans are being given back to us. Okay. Like a lot of our gifts are being given back to us, and like we lost these gifts at one point because like we were abusing them, but like we're starting to get them back or whatever. So that's why a lot of people have deeper dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people may even be hooked up with their soulmates. But for a lot of people, they're just manifesting things quick. As soon as they think about something, it's just happening. Some people, it's really changing their life for the better, though. And then some people, it's like seems like everything bad is happening to them, and that's just, you know, going back into your mentality. But I mean, the love is in the air. The love is definitely in the air for me.
Yeah. So
you the planet Venus too. I want to point out that, you know, the planet Venus is the planet of love. So that alignment that we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's going to include love as well. So you got Venus, Saturn, and Mercury all locked up.
So that's Venus, Mercury, and Saturn. Yeah, all lining up tomorrow. Yeah.
All lining up tomorrow.
Okay, so what people could do maybe tonight when the show's over, tomorrow they can have a look what these planets actually mean, innit?
Yeah.
For themselves.
Yeah, for themselves. Yeah, definitely need to look it up for yourself.
Because I think it's important.
Something different.
It's important for people to really go away and do their own research, and that's how they're going to get their magic, by the belief in themselves, by you know, tapping into their own resources.
Right, the resources. Yeah, I don't know how deep people get into things, but I would make an offering to the love goddess, you know, during this time, if that's, you know, if people are open to do that. I mean, whatever you consider the love goddess.
Yeah, please go into it, Ra. I mean, I think people would be very interested to hear at what lens they could go to in order to, you know, get some sort of self-empowerment back in their lives, whether it be through magic or love or whatever. Definitely. So if there is a god or goddess which they could give an offering to or whatever, I mean, please, share with us.
Yeah, definitely. The love goddess would be great because, like, you look at the triad of what's going on right now. You got Mercury, which is the planet of magic, Saturn, which is the planet of karma, and then Venus is the planet of love. So we can say that this is a great time to work magic when it comes to healing karma for love. Like most people that have issues with love have karma. You know what I'm saying? Like they have some type of a karmic blockage that's blocking them from experiencing love. So if you make an offering to the love goddess, what happens is that it relieves some of that karma. You know what I'm saying? Some of that energy that's weighing you down or whatever from blocking you from that. So I would suggest I'll make an offering to the love goddess, whether it's through chanting And her name is, I mean, like whether you use Lakshmi is the name you use, you could use Isis or Aset. Some people call it Aset. Some people might just use the Roman name of Venus. If you want to use that name, there's different names, but either way it goes, the love goddess is going to respond. Even if you just want to say, if you want to write a note to the love goddess, but just do something tomorrow. I'm not trying to get strict and give this deep ritual and tell people to do all this intense stuff or whatever, because like me myself personally, I might get a little bit more specific, but I would say start off by just writing a note to the love goddess, talking about your issues with love, and then just like really just talking about some of the things you want to heal and balance out with your issues in love, because this alignment is taking place in Libra too.
Okay.
I got the point. And Libra is the constellation of balance, of love too, actually. So this is gonna be a really loving time, believe it or not. I believe, like if we embrace love, I think going through this shift will be a piece of cake. So I would do some type of ritual, get some rose quartz crystals, like get some pink candles, get some green candles, and like kind of write a letter or something like that. Put it on your altar, like write a letter to the love goddess, first thanking her for everything, and then asking her to relieve some of your karma when it comes to love. And I think it'll be great. Like by this portal being open, pretty much anything you ask for, you're gonna get it.
Okay.
Because it's a portal that's open. Pretty sure the energy probably will last for like the next 18 days. So. I mean, so like the people that might be listening to this later on, they might see it on YouTube or something. Like you can still do this up to I think 21st of December or whatever. But just try to do some type of ritual, burn some incense to the love goddess or whatever. Just make an offering. The most important thing is like your intention when you work magic, like when you work love. But it's really not about what you do or what you use. I mean, that plays a part in it. Like, say for instance, like if you got some rose quartz crystals, that will help you to feel the frequency of love a lot more because of the fact that the rose quartz does emit a love frequency, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't really matter what you do. The bottom line is your intentions. Like you really have to believe. Like you gotta block out other psychic attacks too, because like during this time, a lot of psychic vampires are gonna be preying off people's energies too. So like they're gonna try to take away your beliefs. And like, well, magic doesn't work, like they're gonna try to tell you things, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So you gotta block out all the energies in the world and really get into this magic bubble and work this ritual for just an hour or whatever. Like try to do it during the time of the alignment. Like I said, it's like any time, like before the morning time would be the best time to do this ritual or whatever.
What before? What was that? Before morning, Ra?
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 a.m. Egyptian time. I believe they said it's going to be taking place. Like that's the most opportune time.
Okay.
Like, when you study astrology, a conjunction lasts for up to 10 days. So conjunction usually lasts, like the energies of it linger around that atmosphere, like up to 10 days. So when you start working magic, you could work that magical ritual for like between 9 and 10 days.
Okay.
Whatever. So, but tomorrow is the best day. Like if you want to get 100% conjunction where Orion, the Giza, all that stuff is lined up, like that's gonna be tomorrow.
So you're saying about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning Egyptian time.
Okay.
Yeah, Egyptian time. I need to look. I wish I knew what Egyptian time was, like in comparison to like GMT and EST and all that. But just go on and look up Egyptian time.
I'm going to check right now. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was researching this. Like, man, it took a lot. I did a lot of research to find out like these facts that I'm telling you today too. So.
Okay. So that means
I did fail to actually look up the time zones, though. That was the next thing I did look up.
Well, in Egypt right now, the time is 10 to 11 in the evening, so it's 2 hours ahead of us, and I'd say 7 hours in front of Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hours. Yeah. So like say like in about the next 5 hours, that's the best time. Within 5 hours.
Okay. Yeah. So in five hours time. So what can people do? They can. They can write a note and put it on their altar. So, supposing they don't have an altar.
Yeah, the way you set up an altar is I talked a little bit about it. You just want to make sure you put things that would attract the goddess to you. So things that she likes, you know what I'm saying? She likes sweet smelling things. Like I said, she likes all those crystals that I named. You can even just chant to her, but anything on your altar, like plants, flowers, things that remind you of nature. Anything that just reminds you of love, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Whatever that is to you, pretty much. And those people that don't have access to an altar, because there might be some people that can't get one, you can still meditate. You can still do a meditation, like to the guys too. So like if you don't have an altar, you can't get into like the whole, like I guess you could say the whole decorative part of it, where you like the candles and stuff like that because like time is kind of limited. So you can still do a meditation and just the main thing is your intention.
Yeah.
Just really take the next few hours and think about some of the things that you really want to see for the next few years come to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, especially protection. I mean, that's definitely something we want to ask for is like protection from some of the times that are coming.
Okay. I mean, I know a lot of people like mantras or chanting. Is there any specific mantras or affirmations? Any specific mantras, chants, or affirmations?
As long as you give the Ashe to the goddess, like, so say for instance, if you, like, the way I like to tell people is if you want to use all the names of the love goddess, like Lakshmi, Venus, then you have Aphrodite, then you have Ishtar, and Isis or Aset. You can use all those names that I just named and put like an Ashe at the end of it. So you would say like this Ashe, you would say Aset, Ashe, kind of like how Bobby Hemmett teaches on YouTube or how to do it or whatever. You can put the Ashe at the end of it. That'll be a good trick to do or whatever. Now, when you use that, the Ashe puts power behind the name of the goddess or whatever, so it amplifies whatever you're asking for.
Okay.
So like, so in the midst of you chanting, what you can do is like keep your intent, like whatever it is that you want, just kind of like ponder over it as you chant, just get in a state of peace.
Okay.
Try to at least chant the love goddess. Like try to at least do it for a good 30 minutes. And another thing I would do, I would follow up because I was talking about the 18 days. The 18 days that's coming up or whatever, like try to do something for like the next 18 days because another planetary alignment is going to happen on December the 21st. And I'm going to do another radio show and talk more about that. More specifically, whatever. But it's kind of like an initiation. So like when you study rituals and initiations and stuff, you have to follow through. So like you might do a ritual tomorrow night or whatever, but you try to like every day try to go back to your altar and maybe like just reflect over and maybe meditate over what you asked for and maybe just look over some of the things that you asked for. And I highly suggest that you write down some of the things that you want to ask for too, like whether it's for your chanting or your meditation or after it. But you definitely want to like write down some stuff and put it on your altar and leave it out for that 18 days or whatever.
Okay.
Because what happens is like that particular piece of paper, you're going to write it, it's going to get charged up with information, charged up with energy from that alignment. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to become like a magical piece of paper or whatever. So, and you have to program this. You have to believe this. So it becomes like a magical piece of paper, and then you keep it over a period of time or whatever. So after the 18 days is up, you go back to it and you reflect over it. And once that ritual's up, you keep it somewhere safe. You can go back to it maybe 6 months later, and you probably notice that most of the stuff that you asked for on that piece of paper came to you.
Okay.
So I've done this before, but I've done it like more so with different types of entities. Like I've never really done it with this alignment because I mean, of course, this has happened like only every 2,000 years. But I mean, I've done it like working like money mantras and stuff like that. I've used this particular type of method or whatever as far as like writing them notes and putting them on the altar and stuff like that. Like I've done that or whatever. It works. You know what I'm saying? It really works. As long as you do it at that time period, that's the main thing. And then the candles is good too. So if you get candles, at least get 5 or more.
Okay.
5 is really the best number because 5 is the number of Tahuti, and Tahuti is the deity of magic. So if you're gonna work candle magic with it, like say for instance, if you light some candles and they go into your state of meditation or something, just make sure that you have 5 candles and they can be green or pink. So 5 is a good number.
Green or pink? Did you say?
Yeah, green or pink.
Yeah.
Okay. Great, brilliant.
That's just a little bit of information. I know I said a lot. I mean, I really said I know I kind of like told you a lot of different things or whatever, but I mean, it's up to you, like which methods you choose, whether it's the candles, the meditation, it's just up to you.
Yeah. But as I said, it's the intentions.
Yeah. Like
Exactly.
everything really.
And it's like what's gonna make you believe it the most. Like some people believe in candle magic more because they're like used to working in and they've worked in for. Some people believe if they light a candle and then they blow it out and they wish for something, then it's gonna come to them. Like say for instance, like at a birthday, because people laugh at candle magic, but you do candle magic at birthday parties all the time, where you say blow out your candles and make a wish. Well, that's like working candle magic actually. So you can do those same things. I don't know if you guys do that in the UK.
We do. Yeah.
Pretty much, pretty sure you do that. Yeah. So like if you make a wish or whatever, I mean that's just pretty much magic. That's magic 101. Wow. You can do that on different levels.
I mean, I think we've got time. I mean, if you could touch on a bit also about the 21st of December alignment, because it's. I mean, I've read from various scholars and so forth that we're going into the dark rift of the Milky Way. I mean, could you please expand on that?
Yeah, there's going to be 6 planets that are going to line up on the 21st. Where they are, the reason why I didn't really want to go into it as much is because I didn't do the research like I should have to tell you which planets they are.
Okay.
And to tell you which, I know which constellation it's probably going to be in or whatever, but most of it's going to be in the Fucus constellation, like between Fucus and Sagittarius. But there's going to be 6 planets that are going to be relatively close to each other during that time, I know for sure. So where that's going to happen at, which constellation, I really need to figure that out. But I mean, very key time or whatever. I mean, definitely. Because that happens, like, it happens every year, but right now, like, we're as close as we've ever been to the galactic center.
Mm-hmm.
So our planets, what they do, they line up with the galactic center, like they totally line up, and that causes energy to pass through all of the planets from the galactic center through those planets. So and all types of beings and different species of beings kind of like resonating with this type of energy. And this is really just going back into the no time that we were talking about, the dark rift.
Mm-hmm.
The dark rift goes into the zero time or the 0 point that like most of the occultists talk about. We go to 0 point.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. It's kind of like starting over from the very beginning type of thing. So everybody like pretty much got different predictions on what's going to happen, but that's where the fear is coming from because nobody really knows what's going to happen when we align up with the 0 point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just going to be the time when we like pretty much ascend. Like I guess you could say into our newer consciousness, to our newer cosmic body or whatever. I think that's when our ascension will really begin or whatever. That's what I think is going to happen personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be alignment and it's going to lead to an ascension or whatever, to a higher state of consciousness.
Yeah.
Like consciousness it's kind of like a bullseye. Like if you imagine a bullseye, then you imagine yourself in the center. And like it's kind of like the bigger that you are, the more of the bullseye that you would take up. So like the bigger that you are, the more conscious that you are, is kind of like the bigger that you are. So like say for instance, if the bullseye was kind of like, I guess you could say, this reality, and the more conscious you are would be like the more the bullseye that you take up. So like the more conscious you are, the more I guess you could say higher states of reality that you will be able to experience and resonate with. So what's going to happen is when the shift happens is we're going to grow. We're supposed to expand in consciousness, so then we're supposed to be able to experience more in the astral realm. You know what I'm saying? Like more from like, I guess you could say from like the 4th and 5th dimension and stuff like that. We're supposed to be able to experience more of that because we're increasing in consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like talk about the aura, like your aura gets bigger as you like grow in meditation, as you chant, and as you do certain spiritual practices, that causes your aura to get bigger. You know what I'm saying? The bigger your aura, the more conscious you are. You know what I'm saying? Where you can manipulate reality through your aura. Like a whole lot of alchemists and stuff like that used to teach that or whatever, like how to use the aura to kind of like manipulate reality through. Because the aura is kind of like you can use it to manipulate reality because you're like tapping into the emotional part of reality. And like that's what they're really doing in Hollywood too. Like when we were talking about like a lot of the films play off of the emotions of people. They're using their energy. You know what I'm saying? The actors and stuff like that. They're using the auras of the actors and the energies to play off of the emotions of the people or whatever. So that's just learning how to, I guess you could say, use your energies to manipulate creation and reality or whatever. So yeah, you can do a lot of whatever like with this new energy and like with the alignment. It just takes steps to just like really get in tune with your inner body, like getting into your heart chakra. Like you have to go to your 0 point. So your 0 point will be your heart chakra or your heart, because that's what we like were created at, from our hearts. Like when babies are born or whatever, they grow from the heart out. So you have to go back into your heart to get in tune with that. So that's why meditation right now is going to be like the number one thing right now. Like trying to do heart meditations, like getting into the heart. I can't really explain how to get into the heart and do heart meditation, but there's plenty of books on it. One particular book is a book by Jerome Vallo-Melchizen. He got a really good book on how to get into the heart. But there's a million meditations, and you can do mantras and stuff like that to help to activate that heart chakra. But like that's what we got to do. Like we got to learn how to feel again, so we can make it through this. Because like people that don't feel won't make it. They won't be able to know what's going to happen next. You have to feel your way through it, through this shift. So.
Yeah, because that's another thing I've heard as well. That if people are in tune, they won't make it into the 5th dimension. I mean, there's a lot of YouTube videos who talk about that also. Could you please expand on that as well, please, Ra?
Yeah, definitely. Being in tune with the feminine, and that's something I really point out here, is the feminine, which goes into emotion, but really being in tune with that feminine principle, because the feminine principle dictates reality. And the reason why our society is messed up, the reason why the world is messed up, is because the masculine is or the left brain, which is the same thing as the masculine, is what rules right now. So like, the example of that is like we were talking about earlier, how people think that they have to go out and get things versus being able to attract things. So like we have to go back into the feminine school of thought or whatever. And they used to teach this, ancients did or whatever, but the way that we're going to make the shift is through feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to experience and feel it versus always doing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're taught to just do all the time. Like if something is wrong with us, like say for instance we got into a relationship and we get a broken heart, we're taught to just go and get with somebody else to try to like heal that or go to do something else instead of taking the time to feel your way through things. Like we don't like to feel things. Like mostly in this society, whatever, and that's why so many people use drugs and stuff like that. So really getting into the feminine principle, which is done through the emotions and it's done through feeling or whatever. So and getting in tune with your feelings or whatever, and trusting your feelings, which is your intuition. That's really the number one thing. If you're in tune with your feelings, like that'll kind of tell you what to do next and where to go next. Like the reason why animals know where to go and they know to go into the center of the earth and stuff like that is because they operate off of emotion. They feel things. But the thing with an animal is they're not like us. Like we have free will, so we're kind of stubborn. Like when animals feel things, they'll go ahead and listen to nature because they know that that's nature communicating with them, and they'll necessary adjustments. Whereas humans, we're so logical. We try to, like reason our way with nature. Like, well, I can't do it now because of this. I got to pay for the bill.
Yeah.
That's like nature don't care about bills.
Isn't it? Serious.
Yeah.
But that's how they've got people on lockdown, isn't it? I mean, as Dr. Phil Valentine says, we're under light code lockdown, and it's something that you mentioned earlier on about the light codes, and so a question what I was going to ask when you did mention the light codes was the photon belts and the photon energies coming into the earth around these times. I wonder if that was something else which you could expand on, because we do have 20-25 minutes left, so we can go on a bit more if that's okay with you, Val.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I know the Pleiadians talked a lot about. We've been experiencing energy from the photon belt for a while now, but what's going to happen is now that light energy, that's like a lot of. Actually, it was really dark energy, but depending on how you look at it, it's really dark. Like celestial energy is really dark energy, and really like terrestrial energy is really light energy. But the energy that's coming from the photon belt, a lot of that is what began the shift back in like 1986. Like a lot of people don't realize the shift, like the Earth started to speed up. And I've talked about this in plenty of videos, but it started to speed up way back in 1986. And a lot of that was the Pleiadians coming through. And the Pleiadians are basically a group of beings that taught us about the energy of the photon belt, and was some of the first beings that came to teach us about the light body and how we need to get back in tune with our light body. You know what I'm saying? And our light body is kind of like you were talking about light code lockdown. Like that's the part of us that resonates outside of the matrix. Like it has us in tune with energies that are outside of this matrix or whatever, and they don't want us to get in tune with that because if we get in tune with that, we can change our reality from the outside of the matrix in or whatever. So, so like as far as like understanding the photon belt or whatever, just understand how to work with light codes that weren't really present before the shift started to take effect. What's going to happen after 2012 is once the quarantine is lifted, which is pretty much being lifted now, we're going to be able to pick up on that energy a lot more even. So. All the things like that are taught about the photon belt, as far as us being able to resonate with these light codes, we'll be able to resonate with those energies a lot better or whatever. So, what can we do with those energies? I mean, like we can do a lot. Like a lot of it is like things that we really haven't experienced. Like I said right now, like we don't really know what telepathy is. Like we don't know what the planet would be like if everybody could communicate telepathically. You know, like that's the stuff that's going to happen once we really start to live off of that photon energy and live off of these higher light codes or whatever. We'll get like our higher senses activated, so like clairvoyance. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll be able to, I guess you could say, just be able to sit next to a person and be able to feel like their emotions, feel their emotional state. Like you won't have to talk to your relationship partner. You'll be able to just sit next to her and be able to just feel, you know what I'm saying, like the things that's bothering her, stuff like that. That's clairvoyance or whatever. So these are the type of things that we'll start experiencing more of as we shift. Like we got like intuition or whatever. So the intuition is just kind of like being able to pick up on things before they happen, trusting your feelings, all the stuff that we were talking about. So all this stuff like the photon belt and all this stuff just really goes back to the resonating with celestial energy and energy that we were quarantined from, like prior to the shift or whatever. And certain beings blocked us off, like it was the Orion group, and these particular reptilians or whatever blocked us off from really being able to experience that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's because these particular beings wanted to control the surface of the planet, and they knew that like if humans were able to like free their minds or whatever, like pretty much like they say in the Matrix, they wouldn't be able to control the surface of the planet anymore because like for the most part humans have always been slaves for the most part to like these beings from Orion or whatever in the center of the Earth. Like they enslaved us a long time ago, and probably the Orion group or whatever. They enslaved us a long time ago, and we've been pretty much in slavery to them, and most of it because we couldn't tap into these higher senses or whatever that I just spoke about. Like that's what most of the slavery is pretty much like based on or whatever. So and that's what most of the quarantine is based on. Because that, like they don't have the gun start yet. Like they don't have the gun start yet telling us to eat certain foods. Like we do this stuff willingly because of programming.
Yeah, yeah.
So the slavery is deep, like how they did it. Like they did it through codes, through coding. So that's why like, we see in the movie The Matrix, you see a bunch of numbers and a bunch of weird looking I guess you could say weird looking ancient scripts or whatever. Like when the movie first comes on, because like most of the Matrix is based on like numbers, it's based on words. Like most of the Matrix is based on a whole bunch of like pretty much a whole bunch of conditioning, really. To be honest with you, a whole bunch of conditioning of just numbers, words, and spells and stuff like that. So us like really getting back into it is like going back into like the realm of feeling again. So we really don't gotta like just trust words or whatever. Like if you know what your relationship partner is feeling, you don't have to really talk to her. Like it was a time when we didn't really have to talk. You could just communicate with her through the realm of feeling. So that's what we get back to. So there's a lot of the confusion that has been caused by the left brain to kind of like eliminate itself. Like most of the like language and words and stuff like that. Most of it goes back. It's like a left-brained concept, really, and like a right-brained concept is more like communicating through feelings. So like, you can communicate through words, you can communicate through feelings or whatever. So where we're going right now is we're going back more to the state of communicating through feelings and resonating. Like when you start talking about resonating with light codes, higher light codes, they come down as feelings. Like that's how they come down or whatever. So it's not like most people are so physical and they want to see so much, but it's really like you have to honor your feelings and like honor what's going on like within or whatever to really experience the shift. So a lot of it is really spiritual. A lot of it is like really emotional. As I teach, I mean, we know that like emotions are nothing but like energies that move or whatever. So pretty much like we learn how to direct these energies, learn how to work with these energies and change reality. So that I hope that answers your question a little bit on the Photon or whatever, just to go a little bit into that.
Oh yeah, most def. You got any questions, Rosalind Blue?
No, I mean, Imhotep's got so much knowledge. I don't know which question to ask really.
Okay, just ask one what comes to your mind, which is related maybe.
No, it's just I mean like the planetary. Because I'm gonna be honest, I used to be quite skeptical about astrology and such, and I used to just think like. My personality is not my personality because I'm a Pisces, but then like when I looked more into it, I could see a lot of like when I looked more into it, a lot of the traits that Pisces have, I have sort of thing, and it's the same like a lot of traits that Aries have. People that I know who are Aries, such as Brother Haru, they have that. They have those things. So yeah, it's just sort of like put that stuff back into me, like definitely, and it's also helped me to understand it more on a because. Like it helped me to understand it more on a metaphysical level and how it's all connected, because I believe in metaphysics a lot, so definitely astrology is definitely connected with metaphysics.
Yeah, you have to be really holistic to believe in metaphysics. You have to understand the natures of different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Them together. You know how Dr. Africa always talks about holistic. So.
Yeah.
I actually learned a lot from him. Like when I studied health, it helped me to understand metaphysics a lot better from just studying health, because like a lot of our health problems are just related to us being holistic. Like we isolate things. Like we separate things into different compartments, and that's what causes us to have a lot of the problems we have. So.
And Dr. Africa was with us a few weeks ago
here
in Leicester.
Actually here in Leicester.
Yeah. A couple of our friends brought them over, and big up to Akeem and Aaron out there.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah, big up to all the family, in fact, isn't it? We haven't given no shout outs today, have we?
No. Yeah, definitely big up to Dr. Africa.
Definitely Dr. Africa, no doubt, yeah. All the scholars, the master teachers who have come before us and left us the knowledge for us to share with our peers and our youngsters and so forth.
Yeah, a personal question I want to ask is, what's your star sign?
My star, I do 13 signs, so from that perspective, I'm a Leo.
Okay.
I I do want to talk about Eastern astrology and Western. You know, you got Eastern and you got Western.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we delve into that.
Stereo. So yeah, I'm a Leo. I think I'm a little bit more of a Leo than a Virgo. Like they would say I'm a Virgo on Western.
Okay.
I don't too much feel like a Virgo, honestly. But you know, I guess to each his own kind of thing. I'm definitely a Leo. A lion.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And you are the Pisces, and Brother Haru is the Aries, right?
Yeah.
Fire and water, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. So when is your birthday, Brother Haru?
March the 26th.
March 26th. Okay. In the Eastern, you're a Pisces.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
I am like water sometimes, as Bruce Lee said.
Kind of go with the flow.
Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? Because I'm quite a passionate person, as those around know me, you know, and I can sometimes fly off the handle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the Aries. You probably got planets. See what happens? Like you're born in a certain area in the zodiac. You probably have planets that connect the Aries or whatever. The Aries is right next to Pisces, so you gotta imagine.
Yeah.
This planet spread across during that time of year. Most of the planets are Aries. So you're gonna pick up a lot of that Aries energy. Same thing with you. Like I mean, you're gonna have a lot of that Piscean energy or whatever. So and then you're gonna have a lot of Aries energy too. So it just it all goes hand in hand. So I do 13 signs. I'm gonna be on that.
Yeah, the 13th sign. How do you pronounce it?
How do you pronounce it?
It's called Ophiuchus.
Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus, because I said Ophiuchus or something like that.
I still talk about that. I'm glad you mentioned it. That was something I should have covered today.
Yeah.
We are in Ophiuchus. We're in Ophiuchus. And we have a software that we published on my website, 13signastrology.com, that has a planetarium on it. And I'm going to be getting the pictures up to show that the sun is in Ophiuchus right now. The sun is not in Sagittarius. So according to Western astrology, they teach right now the sun is in Sag, but right now we are in the 13th sign right now. So
okay,
kind of interesting, 13th sign energy.
Because it was yourself who predicted that 13th sign, wasn't it? Well,
I mean, I can't really say I predicted it because there's so many people that talked about it before me. But you know how like knowledge gets lost or whatever. Like that's kind of what happened over there. Like the knowledge got lost. I stumbled upon it and pretty much talked about it publicly. So some people say I predicted it, but I mean I don't say that. Yeah. Because you can't predict something that's already out there. So.
Yeah. As they say, there's nothing new under the sun, eh?
That's right. That's right. Like the prophet, they were only prophet because they went to the mystery school.
Yeah.
Like most of the stuff, the prophecy that they learned came from the priest. The priest taught it to them.
So this. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna even attempt to say it. Do you want to say it, Roslyn?
Esophagus.
Esophagus.
Did I say that right or wrong? I think I said it wrong.
I'm messing around with you. Yeah, you said esophagus or sarcophagus or something like that.
Esophagus.
You know all those Greek terms, but it's Ophiuchus.
Ophiuchus. Oh God.
Ophiuchus. Okay.
Alright, I remember.
Ophiuchus. Yeah, I remember that.
Ophiuchus. Okay. So, I mean, what birthday do you have to be an Ophiuchus?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
What birthday do you have to be an Ophiuchus? Like.
Oh, it starts on. It varies, of course, depending on your year if you get real specific. But it starts relatively on the 29th. It starts on 11/29 and ends on the 17th of December.
Okay.
Mark 11/29 to 12/17. You're Ophiuchus, 13th sign, a hard person to figure out. Usually healers. They're really like healers.
Okay.
If you look at the medical symbol,
the calicus.
That's the sign of Ophiuchus. Like I always tell people, like they use in the medical industry, that's the sign of Ophiuchus. It's the serpent bearer.
Right.
Which goes to the Kundalini energy, because the ancients knew Kundalini energy was the only energy that was needed to heal the planet. Like if you learn how to properly work with Kundalini, you could totally heal yourself of any ailment. You know what I'm saying? If you learn how to use your Kundalini. So that's why Ophiuchus became known as being the healer, because it essentially represented Kundalini energy. Like each sign represents a different part of the body. Like you talk about getting into medical astrology, and Ophiuchus, it represents the third eye, the spinal cord, and Kundalini. And that's because Kundalini starts at the base of the spine and it goes up through the third eye, out the crown chakra. So that's what Ophiuchus is all about, is like meditation, spirituality. So that's probably why we're talking a lot about that right now, because that's the energy, right? We're in that energy or whatever. I that the shift is happening during the time of Fucus too. Like it's just all lined up. It's crazy. Like so many connections are happening right now, like in the cosmos.
I mean, touching on the Kundalini a bit, because we do a type of yoga called Kundalini yoga.
Well, for the Harunas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few of us who do it.
Yeah.
So we understand about that, the Kundalini energy and so forth.
Awakening. That's the enlightenment. That's when you talk about Christ consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it really is. It's Kundalini.
That's right. Yeah.
So like when your Kundalini rises, that's when you become enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
Like start to look at things differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, for instance, when your Kundalini is not rise or it's not awakened, you may look at a thing one way, but then when your Kundalini awakens, you'll look at it totally differently. That's what basically that is. Like, it's when you go to a higher state of consciousness. Egyptians call it Christ consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 3 states of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And Christ consciousness is like the highest or whatever, so or like supposed to be the greatest or whatever. So when your Kundalini awakens, a lot of times it makes your aura really huge. It makes you attract things. Like people can see your aura. A lot of times they don't realize it. But like you ever see like a baby and they're like looking out into space and you're like, "What's the baby?"
Yeah.
The babies can see auras a lot of times. And a lot of times when your Kundalini awakens, that aura becomes bright. It's because like animals can see you. Animals will just see you for no reason. You gotta be careful. A lot of times your Kundalini is awakened, it attracts a lot to you. It's very magnetic. It's an awakening. It's a consciousness. Because energy.
Because it's a female energy, is that right?
Yeah, it's feminine.
Yeah. And that's why it's magnetic, isn't it? Because
the sexual experience too. And the reason it's feminine is because most of the time women, their Kundalini is usually a lot more awake than men. A lot of time, not all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's only because the way a female is designed sexually is a little different. But men usually do a lot more to awaken it. But once you awaken it, that's why, like the Egyptians, you remember, like some of the statues, you would see that snake coming out the head. Like once you awaken it, that's when you become wiser than the serpent, as they say. Like in the Bible, it says, "Become wiser than the serpent."
That's right.
So like that's why Egyptians will have those snakes coming out the head, because that was the awakening of the Kundalini, like representing the awakening of the Kundalini. So the Egyptians knew about it. Everybody knew about it. You know what I'm saying? It was just something back in the day that you couldn't really talk about publicly, but I mean nowadays, like you could talk about it. So.
Yeah, and that's where the Naga comes from as well, isn't it?
The Nagas, yes.
Yeah.
They have awakened Kundalinis, the Naga serpents.
That's right. Yeah.
Naga, they were a group of they were a priesthood actually. Yeah, that's a whole other story in and of itself. They had a lot of power.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up to 9:20. It's been a fantastic
show. I've been getting texts, from people saying.
Yeah. You bringing
I
out a lot
appreciate you
of.
guys having me, and I'm still studying.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I guess you could say like a junior when it comes to metaphysics. I'm not like a Bobby Hemmett or nobody.
Well, you're holding the force down there and giving people the necessary knowledge in order for them to help them to awaken themselves. You know what I mean? And that's important. You know what I mean? And we all have our part to play.
Yeah.
In this mass consciousness, and as I think it was Bobby Hemmett even says it, is that there'll be an angel on every corner.
Yeah.
And I think the times that we're coming into, because it resonates with me where we are and what's about to happen on the planet, whether it's in 3 weeks or 3 years. Do you know what I mean? I certainly feel something.
Yeah.
That something's.
Something's about to go down.
Whether
it's
positive or negative
we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
do you know what I mean?
In the meantime, prepare. Mentally, spiritually,
hope for the best
physically.
and prepare for the worst.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's about. And then obviously make connections like with yourselves and other people, just with humanity in general. Work together as a collective.
That's right.
Yeah. And we do this out of love, don't we, Ra? And it's important for people to actually know why people like us are out there trying to deliver knowledge.
Yeah.
It's for their own personal good and for their children's good as well, for the sake of humanity on the planet. I mean, as you said earlier, the planet will always be here, whether humanity will or the amount of people in humanity, that remains to be seen, and that will be as a result of our actions or inactions in the coming months, coming years.
That's right. That's right. I think we're gonna make it. As long as we vibrate in love, I think everybody will make it one way or the other. I just really honestly believe that.
Well, we hope so. I mean, definitely,
have to, yeah.
we hope so. You know,
Okay.
even though people have been dumbed down to a level of total retardation.
Yeah, we can be
I know
quite
it's gonna
harsh,
take a lot
but
of people like us to teach them, I guess.
Yeah. But I'm actually writing a book. I'm gonna plug one book, and I was thinking of calling it "I'm a retard, you're a retard," but a lot of
there
people.
were so many disputes about that word. So yeah.
So I may not call it that, but I mean, you know, retard doesn't actually. It means that you've disabled your own thought process.
Yeah.
So that in itself, we have given ourselves a disability, haven't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or as you said earlier, via the programming, has given us that disability. But it's time, as you said, it's time for us to awaken to our true selves.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And people like yourselves, Ra, are, you know, we're grateful for, you know, and we hope that we can have you on the show again.
No doubt, definitely. We'll have to invite you again.
I'd love to be.
We could talk more.
And build more on that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much, Ra. Have you got anything else to say, Rosalind Blue?
No, just thank you very much for coming on to the show. It's definitely giving me more insight to this sort of area. So thank you. Give thanks for that.
So what have you got?
I really appreciate being invited. So anytime, that's what I do. I do it from the heart. So no problem.
So do you just want to share all your contact information with the listeners and the audience, Ra, where people can contact you? And I mean, because you actually do healing sessions as well. So if anyone wants a healing session from yourself, they can contact you. So if you can, feel free to give out all your details.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can contact me. My email is 13scienceastrology@gmail.com. That's one of my primary contacts. You can also contact me on Facebook at Ram Hotep on Facebook. Just put in Ram Hotep on Facebook, and then I actually have a 1-800 number if you need to contact me through there to ask questions about any type of sessions. 888-425-7539, and that's extension 101. So that's toll free in states.
Yeah.
So those are 3 ways right now that I have to contact right now. And then of course we always drop videos every couple of days on YouTube. So you can always get at me through YouTube or whatever, and that's 13 Times Astrology on YouTube.
Subscribe, people.
So that's 13 Signs Astrology on YouTube. And then your email address
number
is
13, 13 signs plural, and that's Astrology.
Okay.
And your Twitter as well?
Twitter, I forgot about Twitter. You can contact me at Master Ram Hotep on Twitter.
Okay. Have we subscribed to his Twitter, Rosalind Blue?
I will now. I've only just started to get back into Twitter, and I'm still figuring it out.
I love Twitter, man. Like, Twitter is how I got my start, man. Like I want to say shout out to all my sweeps out there or whatever, because like a lot of people supported me on Twitter in the beginning. Like, can't forget about that. So a lot of empresses out there supported me. A whole lot of emperors and kings and queens out there supported me. So shout out to those people. They know who they are.
For real.
And shout out to people in the UK too. I get a lot of support out there.
Wicked.
Definitely want to send shout out to everybody in the UK. So. Of course, in the States, I want to shout out to everybody in America that supports me as well. So.
Yeah, and keep supporting the brother, man. Let's build him up and build yourselves up, and go to his website www.13scienceastrology.com. His Twitter, Master Ra Imhotep. And his YouTube, subscribe to 13 Signs Astrology. And it's been it's such a pleasure to have you on the show, Ra, and really grateful for your time. And
it's definitely been a pleasure talking to you. I was saying that,
it was definitely real. Definitely was real. I enjoyed it myself. Really, I enjoyed the vibration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
and we'll build again.
Yeah,
no doubt. After the show, I'll give you a holler anyway. Yeah.
Oh yeah, please do, definitely.
Okay, family. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Hotep.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Yeah, so that was Ra Imhotep. So check out his website, www.13, I think that's the number 13, isn't it? 13. 13scienceastrology.com. And then or follow him on Twitter on Master Ra Imhotep.
That's the one,
Or,
Rosalind.
and his email address is 13, the number 13, scienceastrology@gmail.com. And you can also add him on Facebook on Ra Imhotep. My memory's quite good, isn't it?
Isn't it? Wow. So that's spilled in there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I've been taking that.
And Moringa.
Yeah, I've been taking it 5 days consecutively.
Nice
but
one.
that's for another show. We'll be talking about all that sort of stuff on Wednesday. So
yes.
definitely tune in for that show. Myself, Rosin Blue, Brother Haru. We will be having Leah Gold.
Is that my name now?
Yeah.
Okay, you've just
I like it. Anyway, do you want to be called Skidan?
That's okay, just do whatever.
Okay. Right, so myself, Rosalind Blue, and Brother Haru. Join us again on the Innervibe show on Essence Radio on Wednesday.
Okay, we're not done just yet, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's from 7 till 9. We'll be talking about health and beauty and the alternatives, and joining us will be Leah Gold and Zinga and
Naga
Bliss.
Bliss.
So it's definitely a good show, especially for you ladies, but for you guys too.
For everybody, innit?
Yeah, no, for everybody.
You're a bit sexist, aren't you?
No.
Why
but-
especially for the ladies?
But I know, because I know, a lot of ladies.
Men wear makeup too. and they use deodorant, so you know, and Leah and Zinga and Naga are going to be talking about the alternatives and the negative effects of these
Yes. So
nasty substances.
Men and women, tune in. It'll be beneficial for you all. But I'm just saying, I know a lot of my ladies, they want to know about alternatives, especially when it comes to hair care, etc. Okay, I'm not being sexist. I know that, guys. You guys need to stay away from these chemicals too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All the chemicals, in fact, innit? Deodorants, your perfumes, the moisturizers, the baby powders, the baby wipes. I mean, they put chemicals in absolutely everything.
And then like we've talked about today, this is probably one of the reasons why it's holding us back from reaching a level of a high level of spirituality and consciousness. Because we need to basically try our best. I mean, it's really hard now with all the chemtrails, which is another show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's another show.
Wow.
But all these are contributing to the poisoning of our bodies, and at the end of the day, our body is a temple. So we need to do whatever it takes, even any little small thing to help, maintain the health of our temples.
And it's one of the reasons why people don't know about astrology and so forth.
And such like this.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it was great to have Ra on the show talking about.
No, big up Ra Imhotep.
The more deeper sides of astrology, which the general populace don't know about, really. So it's really good.
Yeah, but big up everyone big up all you listeners who listened in. Big up everyone in Leicester.
Still not finished yet, though.
I know we're not.
Gosh.
God. I just want to give a shout out. Give a shout out to Neymar.
Show on Essence Radio.
So I think it wasn't finished yet. We're gonna play a tune now.
Let me do some big ups still.
Yeah, we'll play a tune, then we'll come back, and then we can do the big ups, and then we can go.
See you there.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that all right?
Then let's play a song. What song are we playing?
Blue and Exile.
Blue and Exile, people.
Egyptian islands, gems in the hem set the chin. Moon main grams, hair on my chin grows, hair on my chest burn, blurring my soul cold. I can't sleep, let alone stay awoke, smoking dope like it's like shake time. Found another way to choke. Another day broke, money ain't my model. No, traded peace for the sorrow that I swallow. Bottle after bottle, like the role models of the hollow. Feeling like a seedless avocado. Cloud screaming bravo, bravo. Here's the dollar for your sorrows. Can I borrow your time more tomorrow? Watching Fargo, feeling far gone from the truck that I was gonna follow. It's hard to make songs when the war's going on outside. No man is safe from. And you can run, but you can't hide. Mother won't let up, telling me I should get up. And in the meantime, on that mean crime and cheddar.
underground master shredder. Gave my brother my leather, put on a sweater. I counted my change, I added my blessings. I stepped into the rain to wash my blood. My friends say that I don't talk the same. So dark like we don't give off the same light. I wish I see it all in plain sight to explain it on this great mic. Amplify, stay wide to the nature side. Cross oceans when the faces collide and talk on live like grace that died. Make my mind save my soul at the same time. Make this rhyme. I wonder will I be saved in time? Makes a lot say grace in case God changes his mind. How insane am I? Just the same as you. Came here what you came to do. Just saying the truth. On some fuck rap, back with my back on the wall rap shit. Capping at all, napping on guard, knowing damn well half of your squad still ain't found John. Baptist, Barnes, drowning them, swimming in the pool full of shark fins surrounding them. Rain dancing when dark days was clouding them, cause niggas play God, they just building up, doubting them. Rapping about colors like someone's proud of them, but don't praise fathers, cause half of you grew without them. Malcolm's, Martin's, Fox, Chris Wallace's, Muhammad's, Khalil Gibran's, Agnotins, gods and goddesses, following false promises, laws and politics, full ride scholarships, still don't know what time it is, models and actors, rappers, coke bottling, Chris wrote the bad words, hope plastered on minds of Manana, Obama, Osama, Mama, censorship, sponsorship, friendships, relationships, slave ship, minimum wages, racist shit. Gotta find ways to change the shit. Elevation, higher foundation.
Anyway, there's just enough jokes up in the studio there sometimes.
Gosh, man. Wow.
If you thought we're here, honestly, you would be
dear.
cracking up too. I'm not gonna put people on blast, but anyway. Anyway, yeah,
fantastic,
you were
yeah.
before you were listening to Blue and Exile. What's the song called?
God, now you're putting me on blast. Gosh, what was it
No,
called
man,
again?
you should know your hip hop.
Out of Life. More Out of Life.
More Out of Life by Blue and Exile.
Yeah, but I don't know every title. Give me a break.
It's okay.
Gosh.
Right. That's some
It's
beautiful.
from the areas, isn't it, coming out of me? I don't know.
You're Jamaican. You're
Oh,
an
right, okay. Gosh.
I should really be careful because you could put my stuff on blast too.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, and I will do if you don't stop it. No doubt.
You're Jamaican. You're an Aries. Anyway.
Anyway.
No, anyway, before we had...
Who we got coming on after the show? After our show tonight?
We've got Mr. Lee playing some great reggae.
Conscious reggae music.
Conscious
so
reggae
please
vibes.
stay tuned in. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning in this evening. All the listeners and audiences. And when it comes on YouTube, thank you all for,
viewing that again.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Definitely.
Not
Yeah.
drastic.
No, but anyway, so yes.
Big up to Right Imhotep yet again, man.
Big up, honestly. Big
humble
up to our
guy,
people in
you know
America.
what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And doing big things out there. And, trying to help awaken the masses.
Yes.
You
But thank you for tuning in again, people. Big
we
up
all have
yourselves.
that part to play, don't we?
Yeah, big up yourselves.
Definitely.
And tune in on Wednesday again, like I said.
Yeah, same time, same place.
Same time, same place. Hopefully we won't be late.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Technical man. Mr. Technical Man.
I think we might have a double show actually. We might have Jam Noise Jackie coming in to talk about chemtrails. So we might have a jam-packed one on Wednesday.
Oh, I see that. Just
a few people
tune
in
in
there, so-
anyway because it's definitely all our shows are definitely worth listening to because we just drop different knowledge every time.
Yeah, man, and it's
So
beneficial knowledge as well,
yeah,
not just some nonsense.
Not
Get
just,
me?
it's not just mindless entertainment. You won't see none of this on the television.
No entertainment. We're not here to train you, drown you, and into retardation.
Yeah.
It's for upliftment purposes.
Yeah. But anyway, big up
Raising
to all our listeners. Big up to. I mean, there's so many names to people, but big up yourselves and.
For real.
Yeah, you know.
And I'd like to leave you with a quote by Carl Jung.
Yes.
Or Jung, whatever they want to pronounce it as, but it's spelled Jung. We are born at a given moment in a given place, and like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and of the season in which we are born. Astrology does not lay claim to anything else but that.
Brilliant.
Astrology is one of the intuitive methods, like the I Ching, geomantics, and other divinatory procedures. It is based upon the synchronicity principle, i.e. meaningful coincidence. Astrology is a naively projected psychology in which the different attitudes and temperaments of man are represented as gods and identified with planets and zodiacal constellations. Carl G. Jung.
Brilliant.
Leave you with that quote, and we'll hope to have Imhotep back on the show soon.
Definitely.
As we say, we've got Leah, Nzinga,
And
Naga Bliss. They've got their own companies as well, herbal products and that where people can purchase from. So they'll be on the show on Wednesday. Next Sunday we've got Seven Bomber back with us.
Okay.
Yep, we've got Seven Bomber back on the show with us. Yeah, we've got James Willpower coming on soon from the Meta channel. He's a metaphysician. We've also got Lennon Honor coming on the show soon.
Yeah, big up Lennon.
Nefertiti Ife also coming on soon. So yeah, we've got a packed
as usual.
few
We've
weeks
always got a
coming
great,
up.
as usual, we've
Great
always got a
lineup,
great
yeah.
lineup, definitely.
Delving into the esoteric and the occult. You don't like that word, do you? Anyway, guys, occult.
Sorry, Mom, sorry,
let's just say occult just means hidden.
Yeah.
It means nothing else but hidden.
Yeah.
And what the elite do is use occult methods to manipulate the masses
In a negatively.
And that's what people have to try to understand, that you know, it's
there you go.
know, that's how it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we just have to use this hidden knowledge for the benefit of mankind and for the benefit of our children and each other. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Right.
But
we're going to leave you tonight.
Yes.
With a nice tune by Al.
Yeah. Called
Soft Meditation.
Okay, so Hotep
people.
Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Namaste.
Ciao.
Arrivederci.
Ase. Namaste. Satnam.
Satnam. Astrological. Hotep.
Soft meditation just in case you're curious. Kisses on that part of your body that make you furious. Living off America, flow is universal though. Heard you got stage fright, clap clap, open show. Nickname AL, Algemir to be precise. Writing love songs just to open up my chakras. These are just things you should know. I just turned 21, I don't eat animals. Let them live in peace, please do the same for me. I love getting knowledge, please make me more complete. I wanna go to Asia just to see the scenery and to see its pink trails spreading across seas. It's the mystical MC, perpetuating its greatness. Used to be in love with Ashley, but that shit was forsaken. Twilight of my eyes, wondering who think about me. The universe is mirrors, I can see you looking at me. This all true. What is new? What is new? What is rude? What is rude? I ascend. Life increases when you in touch with Mother Nature. Me and my mother will never connect, but I still love her. I'm similar to my father. You can think genealogy. I wanna learn about the stars and focus on astrology. Write a song about a girl in all 7 continents to all be greatest hits. Why? Because I'm confident. I wanna change the world and get people to think a little more. When I see the sun, I look hard and gain energy. When I see the moon, I look hard and gain energy. When I see myself, I look hard and gain energy. Luna, she's so beautiful. I wanna just dematerial from a nebula to a star, but never trivial, forever relevant. You're pure, Miss Imperial. Imagine how this country was 1,000 years ago. Where was you? Where was I? Were we in the physical? I like bodies in the 4th dimension. This is centerfold, procession of the equinox. Run till your feet stop, all through your mind, intellect. Yes, I think a lot. Will I ever stop? What's the answer? No. There you go. There you go. See what you see. Is that me? Then let it be. That energy. Oh, that's me.